Hello and welcome to the All Night Gamers Podcast, episode 133. Hi, hello, hi. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us for another edition of the show. Tears of the Kingdom is he is
Yay!
That was
is
a surprise announcement.
I don't want to say it's here because it's technically not, but it's the most we've ever. It feels like it's here because this is the most news we've gotten, and
Ever.
As it was
it was
announced.
literally only 10 minutes of gameplay, and it feels like so much crap is here. So very exciting. I'm glad that we had to delay recording to Tuesday so that we could have all this stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
Very,
actively like, week of, not,
yeah,
oh, here's
day of
last
this
week's
is.
biggest news.
Yeah, super fresh, hot Zelda news. Very exciting. Um, well, uh, I don't really want to bullshit. I just kind of want to get right into it. So let's do that. Tears of the Kingdom. So yeah, there were some rumors that had come out last weekend about from people talking at PAX East that there was going to be some Zelda news on Tuesday, and then Monday morning ish, Nintendo tweeted out like, "Hey, tomorrow there's going to be like some gameplay reveal." Um, and then this morning, uh, it's available now on Nintendo's YouTube channel. There's like about 10 minutes of gameplay with Mr. Anuma himself playing the game, showing you some of the new mechanics. Also got some news about the rumored Zelda Switch OLED that we'll talk about, as well as some other accessories. But before we go through the list of or do we want to do our rating before or after the list of stuff? I guess after the list.
For the list, that way if they, for whatever reason, have not seen it, they'll know what we're rating it on.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. So, the biggest focus was all the new abilities. Um, Starting with the rewind ability. So, basically, imagine a new form of stasis where instead of just freezing things in time, you can actually reverse time of certain objects. So you hit an object with this ability, and then it will play back a set amount of time of what it just did. And the way they showed that is through getting to the floating islands. So I know we've seen from all the reveal trailers and stuff the big islands in the sky and Link skydiving off of them and that kind of thing. Um,
Very fun. Very fun.
so that's how they got up there. A block fell down from one of the islands, and then he used the rewind ability on it, climbed on top of it, and it basically just carried him right back up to the top. So he went around the floating islands for a bit. I can't remember what they were. What was the name of the islands? Was it the Zonai
I don't
Islands?
remember. Maybe?
Because I know
I know
that's.
that's where you get the material for the Zon. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I think it's
I'm sure Zelda
Zonai,
fans are raving.
but yeah. Anyway, the floating island. That's how you get up there. He fought some new enemies called constructs, which look eerily based on Skyward Sword art style.
Yeah,
Which is
but that makes
fascinating.
sense with the Sky Islands as well.
Yeah, and not only that, but I had noticed a lot after playing Skyward Sword HD. It was the first time I'd actually played Skyward Sword. Um, and then going back to Breath of the Wild for Master Mode, just like how much stuff is in Breath of the Wild that is related to Skyward Sword or was inspired by Skyward Sword or came from there, which I didn't really realize and honestly didn't expect. I mean, like it makes sense since that was the last big 3D Zelda prior to Breath of the Wild, but still, um,
Next, we're gonna get trains.
uh, like that game just isn't as popular as many of the other Zeldas, so it's interesting that they pull a lot from that. But yeah, there's new enemies called constructs. They look like the robots from Skyward Sword, sort of, kinda, with the Breath of the Wild flavor. Um, and they attacked him and got this like Zonai material, which kind of looked like an ancient core but different. Um, they didn't obviously he didn't talk about any of the items at all. This is very sparse. Most of this is up to our imagination and also just for us to discover.
I know it had the Zelda tubers super hyped since that's what they've been theorizing for months.
Yeah. Um, another new ability is the fuse ability.
I
So
like that one.
you can fuse multiple items together and make multiple different things. He did an example of like, oh, here's a tree branch, let's pick it up and attack, and then they attacked one of the things and it broke because it's a tree branch. And then he was like, oh, well, we can put this rock on it, and they took a gigantic, like imagine a stick you can hold in your hand, and then a boulder that is as tall as you are, and then they just pushed them together, and all of a sudden you got a little rock on a stick that
No, a big rock on a stick.
well, it's not the size of the boulder anymore. That's I wish it was. That would be hilarious.
Well, it's
Like
big.
they're
It's
super
still pretty
buff.
big though.
Oh yeah, it's big, but it's not 6 foot boulder.
No, but that is my favorite sentence. I can make this better. Watch.
Put a rock on
Wait.
it. Instead of
What?
stick, we have rock on stick.
Watch as I beat up 2 enemies. It's
So
still good.
yeah, it increases the weapon attack and the durability. Um, so like before he tried to attack one of the Zonai with just the stick and it broke before he even killed it. And then with the rock stick, he was able to kill 2 of them, and it didn't break.
And it didn't break, yeah. Or
Um,
even complained that it was close to breaking.
yeah. They showed off that you can also fuse materials with arrows. The coolest one, IMO, is the heat-seeking arrow.
Yeah, no, that I really like that one.
Yeah,
I,
that is
I love
awesome.
how he was like, "Yeah, I'm getting old, so my aim's not what it used to be." And then he's just like, "But what if I put this eyeball on it?"
And that is the story of how Boeing became a company. Or I guess the military-industrial complex as a whole. Um, so that's super cool. You can also combine like other things. They had another example of putting a mushroom on a shield, and then when you get hit, if you're holding your shield, it will explode the mushroom into a cloud of like dust that confuses the enemy and makes them lose sight of you. And then you can like just sneak around them and do a sneak attack and get big damage. So that's super cool. So yeah, there's tons of fuse. I mean, like there is just so much potential here.
I like the really long weapon. What did they
Oh, the
what did
stick
they
with
use
a
for that?
pallet on it, made like a giant
Yeah,
fan essentially.
no, okay, no, that was one of the enemy's weapons, which is also interesting that they're gonna also have fuse weapons.
Oh yeah, the enemies can have them as well. Yeah.
No, but I'm like there's like a stick and then one of the farming tools that I can't uh remember which one it was, but it was a really long weapon. They're like, yeah,
Really
if you don't
long
want to,
stick.
it was a really long stick. They're like, yeah, if you don't want to, get up close to enemies, you can just build something like this, and then you can poke them.
Um, so then they showed another new ability that is kind of like the fuse ability, but slightly different. It's called Ultra Hand, which
It's for
is
cars.
it's Banjo Kazooie nuts and bolts,
Let's
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
go.
but
Let's
good.
go.
but good. Yeah,
No.
but you can build your vehicle in 2 minutes and not have to spend 45 on it. You don't have to design it.
Well, you do have to design it, but you can make it however you want. You just gotta believe it will work, and it probably will.
Dude,
Yeah.
the waste of time the waste of time that nuts and bolts was the heart of it, bro. The heart and soul.
Maybe the
I mean,
real
that's certainly
gameplay was
what
the time we
Microsoft
wasted.
thought.
um, and also nice reference with the Ultra Hand there, the OG Nintendo toy from back in the day when they made toys.
I was gonna say, like, it sounds familiar.
Yeah, the toy that was used in that WiiWare game, Grill Off with Ultra Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that toy. So reference to that and cute little thing there. Um,
Oh yeah.
so his example for this was like, well, he found a big river and he had just started the game, so he didn't have any extra stamina or anything, and the river was way too wide to swim across. And there was no boat around. Like, in Breath of the Wild, you could just find little sailboats you could, like, blow with a Korok leaf. But now um, you can. There was like a bunch of logs lying around, and also just metal fans. That was that's what I liked. I was like, there's no boat here, but there's a bunch of logs and several gigantic metal fans
Yeah.
that we can use. So he fused a couple logs together and showed how you can move them around. They don't have to be perfectly aligned. You can fuse all sorts of ways, and then put these, like, essentially fans with their own batteries in them that will run for a certain amount of time on them. And when he put it in the water and then hit the fans with the stick, they turned on and it just blew him across the river on his little boat. So
Oh, that's sick.
Those people, let go.
So what I'm hearing is like the Japanese Breath of the Wild players is
The
like,
ones making all the vehicles in Breath of the Wild.
yeah. So that's gonna
Yeah.
be like everybody can do it now.
so this means the vehicles that we saw in the last trailer can be made, and basically, the sky's the limit.
Oh wait, so it's Gmod.
Yeah, let's go with Zelda Gmod,
Let's
Breath of the Wild
go.
plus Physics Sandbox.
Which, okay, it was already a physics sandbox, but okay.
That makes me wonder, could you build a pallet and then put fans on the bottom and then fly yourself up to the sky islands? See, this one's like, there's just like
Pro-
so much fun stuff that you could probably at least
Probably,
try.
but it depends on the battery life of the thing.
Yeah. And also,
But
even
It
if
you
it
know,
also,
doesn't work, it's probably going to at least be funny.
well,
it also had
someone's gonna
the.
build the cannon from the first game that people built all the time, and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
gonna use that to try to shoot up to the sky.
What, and I'm sure someone's already planning to do this. And, but what I kind of want to do is just go around and find all the material that you can build stuff with, and just build like a floating fortress.
Um, so yeah. And then I got another ability called Ascend, which is essentially a cheat code from Breath of the Wild. They're like, so remember how in Breath of the Wild you had to like climb everything and that sucked? Well now, this isn't limit. Like, there's limits to this. There's restrictions. They didn't really talk too much about it, but he had an example was like, oh well, normally I'd have to climb this mountain to get up here and do this thing, but there's a little cave in this mountain specifically. I can walk in here, and now that there's a ceiling, I can just ascend to the top of the mountain. Um,
He
it
also he also made it sound like we're gonna be trapped at some point. Because he specifically said, if you get trapped, you can just use this to escape. Like, but how are we gonna get trapped somewhere?
I mean, there might be something in the story that uses it. I wouldn't be surprised, but also it's like, even if he's not, even if that's not true, he's then just talking about like, well, if you go and
In
attack
general, yeah.
a whole base of moblins and all of a sudden you're cornered and you're about to die, you can just ascend.
Wee.
Um, which I wish is an ability I had in real life. If I didn't want to be
Wee.
somewhere, I just ascend.
And he had to crawl through like the middle of the floor to get somewhere.
um, and then he also showed getting off of the Sky Island. He got blown off because he had a construct that had a weapon of a stick and a pallet, so it was essentially a gigantic handheld fan, and it would work just like a Korok leaf essentially, and it blew him off the Sky Island. So you can get pushed off just as much as you can jump off, but um, once you jump off, you essentially just get to skydive. Um, kind of like dropping in most battle royale games or whatever. Like you fall slow while deciding where you want to go specifically, and then once you pick out your area and you're done looking, you can do like a dive pose and go really quick.
Oh.
And the example he did is like he jumped off and slow dived for a while, got a big look of the area, and then just dove directly into a river. So yeah, before we get into the hardware stuff, I'm super excited.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
We'll we'll see for sure. Ooh, that was a bad one. We'll see for sure when reviews come out and as we get
Mhm.
closer to release and everything. But I think Nintendo's onto something when they're like, yeah, this game's worth $70. Not to
I have to encourage them
yeah
to
yeah
raise
not to be happy with it,
prices,
but
but
okay, they've got a point. Um, and I'm glad to see that a lot of Breath of the Wild's ideology has been fully maintained here, especially when it comes to like being able to see anywhere that you can go. Um, I remember that was like a big pitch for the original game. Like if you can see it, you can go there. It's all viewable. Um,
You can go there now with a flying vehicle.
let's go.
yeah, and also, oh, I had it and then it just went away.
Dang.
Is it the long pitchfork? By putting a long stick on the end of the pitchfork, you have a longer one.
Oh god, dude, I had it and then it poof. Um, but yeah, glad that that's still a big point of emphasis. Um, and I think it's gonna be really good. I'm super interested to see how this story pans out.
The
Um,
story's the thing I'm super interested in, but they're keeping it so silent. But it makes sense. According to Chris from the old Nintendo Plays channel, he had to convince them a lot to try to show things for Breath of the Wild because they're like, everything's a spoiler. And he's like, yeah, but no, this isn't. You could show it and people would be hyped.
Mhm.
But he doesn't work there, so they've gone back to, we can't show anything. Like, it would make.
yeah, like you don't have
Uh,
to like. I get it's like anything's a spoiler. I can understand that mentality, especially coming from a company like Nintendo that doesn't like to talk about anything. Um, but you can show some things and it not really be a spoiler.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like the trailer
Back
where
when
Link and
Nintendo.
Zelda were in the cave and then they like find that thing and then it cuts off. Like sure, that's a spoiler. Okay, cool. Zelda's in the game. Ganon's probably involved. But like
There's
I
a
don't like.
cave.
Yeah, there's a cave.
I
Link's in the game.
don't
there's
know.
there's torches. Oh, I'm so upset. I got spoiled on
Yeah,
everything. Like
they're just so silent.
yeah, like you can show things
Yeah.
and still have it be totally. I have no idea what's going on, but like at least show like oh man, like what, like a teaser of like a teaser of what the kicking off event is. That's all you have to show. Like
Mhm.
don't explain any of it. Don't get any of the prelude. Like no context, nothing. Just something. It's really not that hard.
Sure it is.
Um,
They're Nintendo. They can't show anything.
but yeah, I'm incredibly excited. I am thinking that this is going to be kind of like how um, Oracle of Ages and Seasons had like one game was based on puzzles. Like I had a more of an emphasis on puzzles, and the other one had more of an emphasis on like action and play. And I think that this game is going to be the puzzle one because now that we have a physics sandbox, you can make a lot of really interesting puzzles like that. Like there was already a lot of good ones in Breath of the Wild, and
A
you
lot of
had a
bad
lot of
ones, like
tool.
the Koroks.
Yeah, and like you had a lot of creative ways to solve puzzles, but while it wasn't really, I wouldn't call it limiting. Like it was, there's only so much you can do. Um, but now with this, it feels like that is just really kind of had the doors blown open on it since it's essentially a full sandbox now. So I expect a lot more puzzles in this one. Um, and being creative,
I'm
like they focus on your imagination and that kind of thing. So
just hoping that they actually allow uh, you to build the vehicles inside of whatever the trials are this time. Because I don't know if they'll do the shrines or what, but I know there's going to be some sort of trial.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. The game seemed to be running pretty well
Yeah.
too. I didn't know. I was paying heavy attention to that. Because I definitely had concerns there. So, we'll see when we like. You know that he could have cherry picked some things there, like pick the areas he was going to go to and stuff to make sure it was all areas that would run fine. Because just like Breath of the Wild, a lot of areas just run fine. Um, but I'm still concerned there's going to be areas like the Korok Forest in Breath of the Wild that are just absolute chuggers. Um, I
I
hope
think
not.
it's slightly better after they patched it, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, like in some of the open grass areas, yeah, but I
But like
recently been to the
the
Korok Forest
detail
in Master.
heavy,
Yeah, like Korok Forest is pretty much the best example of it. It is still bad. Um,
yeah,
It's a
because
lot
it's
better than it was, but it's still not
yeah,
yeah. You, I
what you
mean,
would want it.
The Wii U didn't get that update,
It
right?
did get
So
that
it
patch.
did.
Yes.
I was gonna say,
Because it got the DLC and the patches came with DLC, like always. That's how
mm,
Nintendo does their things.
so yeah, I think it was great. I'm incredibly excited.
oh no, it's I am so hyped for it.
So the last part, uh, they showed off the hardware. So there's going to be a Zelda Tears of the Kingdom OLED system.
Which
Um,
was leaked months ago.
yeah, so that actually came to fruition. Credit where credit's due there. Um, I can't believe the pre-orders are still open as of this recording for the OLED. By the time you're hearing this, good luck.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, if you cared, you probably would have already known by now anyway. Um, but there is going to be one. Just like the rumors, it's exactly looks exactly like those photos and everything. It's coming out on April 28th, so 2 weeks before the game releases.
Which
Um,
is pretty much the standard for special OLEDs. That way, even if it's a company like Target who doesn't ship it until week or like day of, you can still get it in time to have it with the game.
yeah, go ahead and get all your stuff transferred over if you have a different Switch, and pre-download Tears of the Kingdom if you bought it digitally, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks seems like I was expecting a week because that's usually like that's what Animal Crossing did. That's the only one I really have touch on. Was the Splatoon one
uh,
2 weeks?
Splatoon was us. No, that might have been a week.
Yeah, like I was used to a week, which makes sense because you really only need like a day of prep before the game comes out. Um,
Yeah, because I think Splatoon. No, wait, no, because Splatoon came out on what, like the second Friday of September. I think the OLED came out on the last Friday of August.
okay, so yeah, but well, anyway, 2 weeks before. There's also going to be a Pro controller. The Pro controller is selling out quick, which
Yeah,
which makes a lot more sense. Um, and there's also going to be a carrying case, which I assume basically nobody cares about.
yeah, because the Breath of the Wild one came with the special edition.
Yeah, and also $25 for a carrying. My carrying case that I use for my Switch, and I have used since I got it several years ago from Amazon, was either 20 or $25, and it is way more utilitarian and way better overall as a case than the Nintendo
I
official
have the
cases.
best Switch Nintendo case. It's the one that you can put a dock in.
Oh, the big, yeah, the
Yeah,
big box.
that
Yeah.
one's not really good for like a quick travel, but it's certainly
Yeah, that one's the
like
power user. Like if you need to have a
that
dock on you at all times, kind of thing.
that one you're going on a trip or moving or whatever.
Or yeah, like
Well,
Like
you're going to a big party.
yeah, I get the quick one, but I really like the one I can be like, everything can just go in this and
I mean,
be fine.
think about The one they released for Odyssey, right? Like
That one's
that
sad.
that one's pathetic.
I have that one.
I know that's why we know it's pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the
It's not even
problem
a
with it.
hard. Yeah, it's not even hard plastic
Like,
like you would want from a case. Like all the other cases are. It's just like a soft.
dude, I think one of my favorites though has to be the Breath of the Wild. I think it's leather though, or fake leather.
The one from the Breath of the Wild collector's edition that I have
Oh,
that they
probably.
made fakes of.
Oh, they
That
made
one?
fakes of. Oh, okay. I was gonna say I've seen it solo, but that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't really need hard plastic as long as it's like cushioned. Like the one I use, the one that I've been using for years isn't hard plastic. Like it can hold a decent amount of stuff, and it's still got good protection. And I can put a strap on it if I want to carry it on its own. But it fits really well in a backpack. That's like my qualifier. Like, can it hold a good amount of stuff and fit good in a backpack? Um, but yeah, so all that and the Pro controller and the case are coming out on launch day. So yeah, that's basically about it. Um,
I do.
what's the rating?
Like,
Uh,
Eight
so
out of
I'm
10.
gonna. Yeah, I would agree with Cooper. If there was a lift, it's great, and I'm really happy about all the things they actually showed. But it's more the things they didn't show that I
Like,
really wanted to see.
like,
Some of the new changes to Hyrule is really what I wanted to see, and some more. I'm glad they didn't show story, but
yeah, I
I
wish
don't
they
know.
like tickled our balls a little, like showed the story a little bit.
I don't know if I'd put it like that, but yeah, I
crazy.
understand I understand, and it's unfortunate that I understand.
Maybe I think the big thing I'd want to know is there traditional dungeons? The art
Oh
book
yeah.
kind of hinted at it, and I want to know, well, either or. I would really love traditional dungeons, but I just want to know if we're getting them.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
fair. I'm kind of in the minority. I really enjoyed the shrine thing, like having a couple big dungeons that are to draw the attention to them because there's so few of them. They become more meaningful. And then there's like a bunch of like little trials to do that get you incremental upgrades over time. Um, like I don't think it's better or worse than traditional dungeons. I just enjoyed like it's like breath of fresh air. So I don't think I really mind either way what it is. I am interested though if it is traditional dungeons, how are we gonna do the spirit or like how do you get hearts and stamina if it's
Well,
traditional
I could
dungeons?
still be see shrines being in it. I just also want traditional dungeons included.
Yeah,
Mhm. No, I get that.
that's fair.
Yeah, for the whatever the Ganon fights are.
Um, yeah, and like maybe the shrine and few big dungeon thing is probably a one time thing because I can see how they'd want really large emphasis on the few big dungeons given that the champions and like their connection to the story and how meaningful it's supposed to be blah 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 blah. So I can see that being a one time thing given that the story's going to be different now.
Yeah.
I am interested to see like if the champions play into this at all, like where their role is, if they have any, other than just like appearances and stuff, lore, that kind of thing.
Watch them
Yeah,
reference stuff from something. Hyrule
Age,
Warriors.
Age
Age
of
of
Calamity.
Kalimba, yeah.
Yeah, I could say that. Although I don't know how they would, because that's a different timeline, right?
It is a different timeline.
I think I'd give it a solid 9 with my two gripes being the story thing. I get like I'm not asking for a story reveal. I'm asking for a teaser, something to
Yeah,
what Cooper
tease.
said that I'm not going to say again. Uh, and also I understand that a big like most of the gameplay demo was on the Sky Island because that's the new thing. Um, but I'm just nervous about performance and like the places that I would expect it to be worst. And I wish I could have seen that and just like gotten some reprise. So I guess I'll just have to wait for reviews for that. So
Oh yeah.
um yeah, I give it a solid 9. Really, just based on nitpicks, it's really hard to get a perfect grade out of me.
Mhm.
But it's great. It's wonderful. Other than those, which really are just nitpicks, I think it's fantastic, and I'm super excited. We all are. We're very hype.
Oh yeah. No.
Exactly.
I also think I'd give it a 9.5. Like there's a lot of new stuff going on in it, and I'm hyped to try it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, this is gonna be the biggest wallet murder in some time.
I already own it.
Um, well, like I've already had to pay for everything by now because it's like pre-orders, but the collector, and I'm not even getting the console this time, but the
I
collector's
currently got a
edition
console,
plus
but
the pro controller same day.
yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
not pretty.
yeah, I guess the biggest one since Splatoon 3, and the one before that would be Metroid
Yeah.
Dread.
Well, I mean, Splatoon 3 didn't even have Amiibo release on the same day.
Yeah, oh yeah, and the amiibo too. Um,
Because all of the ones that launched for Splatoon 3 were just restocks. I mean, I bought them because I needed them here in Orlando, but you
um,
know,
yeah, and I wonder what the amiibo functionality is going to be.
uh,
I mean, I
we
assume
already know.
is it the same thing
Or
as Breath of the Wild?
no, paraglider. Well, at least part of it is customization for the paraglider. Because they showed the North Mask, and they showed I think links. Like it wasn't in this trailer. It was when they announced the amiibo, like or as a tweet after they announced the amiibo.
Yeah, so like there's I like my more question is like is the previous mechanic going to be maintained in some form? And is there anything new like material wise that's going to be added that's not just like a skin, like a custom option or like stuff like that?
And if they are doing that, can we at least have enough slots this time to have all of the DLC that we're paying for?
So, yeah, hype is real. Release is soon.
Do you think they'll do a Mario Kart bike for it or no?
Oh, what do
Oh,
they
that would be
call it?
sick.
The Master Cycle.
Yeah, yeah,
Master
yeah.
Cycle will 100% be back. Let's be honest.
So yeah,
Um,
that, and then do you think they'll add a different type of Zelda cart into Mario Kart or no?
Into Mario Kart?
Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah, maybe. My first default was gonna be no, but you know what?
They're
Maybe.
still
And
doing
Link might
DLC.
show up in his new
Yeah, Breath of
outfit
the Wild Link instead of
Oh
like
yeah.
or
classic Link.
Tears of the Kingdom. We already have Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you might get like a new flavor
Yeah, the one with the arm.
and long hair.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It'd be interesting at least.
Oh yeah.
I also
Now he'd
rechecked
be
today.
under.
I am That is my off Friday when that game comes out. So
Lucky.
boom,
Oh.
son. I wonder if is any retail store gonna start doing midnight releases again?
Probably not.
Probably not.
That's
If I
unfortunate,
had to guess.
because that would be the first one I could go to since Switch launch. I think.
The only one I could see that would definitely do it is um
GameStop maybe.
GameStop. Yeah, exactly. GameStop might do it.
Oh well. I'll just be at Best Buy at 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. whenever they open. along with all the other smelly nerds. Um,
Oh yeah, you
Makes
get
me
to
wonder
reuse
if
the
I
wood.
should even bother having. Um, actually, no. My collector's edition, I had to ship home just so that I didn't have to contend with trying to change my address while ordering them. So, fuck, I'm not even gonna have it
mm.
because it's going to
Uh,
be the week after Haley's graduation. So
I
I'm not.
will. That's so sweet, Cameron. 2 graduation gifts? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Cooper
Yeah.
parentheses Skinwalker opening an unsuspecting package containing a Zelda Collector's Edition parentheses pipe bomb.
That's good.
Okay. So, now that everyone's nice and happy and on a high from Zelda, Wii and 3DS is dead. Moment of
Yeah.
silence. Salute to our fallen brethren. Press F. Do all that good stuff.
Hopefully, I'm hoping games like Pushmo come over to Switch. They had like 4 different games, like 3 on the 3DS, 1 on the Wii U, and people seem to like it. So
Rest in peace, you beautiful voice.
feels bad for people that try to 100% Nintendo Badge Arcade.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. That one's definitely dying with the 3DS. That's not coming. That's not happening
That
Yeah.
is
again.
100%.
That's dead.
oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Like they're not even going to try to bring it back.
Oh, that's good. But he's in Smash Bros. They gotta
Okay.
bring
And
him
that's the
back.
most reference you'll get from him.
Rest in peace. Oh, and then that Rusty's baseball game or whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Wait, boy.
yes, yeah. The
And
mini game collection basically, where you had to like haggle to pay
Yeah.
real money. Yeah,
I
that's dead for
see.
sure.
I could. I could see that being more likely than Badger Cade though,
True.
because
Yeah.
Badger Cade, I'm pretty sure they were just like, yeah. So here's stuff.
I mean, like, well before the end of the 3DS and all, like, everything was like for $1 basically, because I think they knew they were going down.
Yeah, I mean, most
I
companies
mean,
put everything on massive sales right before it shut down.
Dude, for real.
Um,
yeah, they did not
Except
consider the
Nintendo.
fact that it would take forever to actually purchase these things on the 3DS.
Yeah.
I think about it. Why did the completionist just buy them on the Nintendo store on the web?
Because the Wii U one went out a long while ago.
No,
Yeah.
but the 3DS one still existed, right?
Somewhat. But you still have to download it, which I think.
Yeah. Download it and then DLC, because DLC only 3
And
games.
that's the problem. It's the DLC.
Yeah. Imagine if they still did that. You had to get
But
in chapter 5 of this Fire Emblem
you had
game.
to beat all of Ace Attorney.
Oh, he did bring up the fact you have to get to the end of Ace Attorney and Professor Layton, ex-Professor Layton.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yes, it's the
yeah,
crossover
the level
one.
5 games.
You think they'll bring that one back?
I mean, they brought
Chance.
Katrina. Katrina.
True.
What's her name, Alex?
Those were
Dual
Catriella,
release.
but I think that was a dual release.
Honestly, I'm just upset that Tadpole's Travel was already like long gone. Like that's
Yeah,
one
I
I want
think
to
I
pick up.
checked for it a long time ago and it was already gone then.
Yeah, I don't know. Like they got rid of it so quick. The the real ones are the ones that got meme run when it before
ah,
Yeah,
it went out after the
me
game.
and
True.
Like having that's like having Flappy Bird on your iPhone, bro.
that is actually a true statement, though.
um, so a couple big notes on these closures. So Pokemon Bank is now free to use. Um,
How
But
does
there's
that? Cause
problems with
I think that yeah, there's a problem, right?
Pokemon Transporter.
transport.
Uh,
Yeah, they, as far as I'm currently aware, they have not fixed that yet.
You
I'm
think
sure
they'll
they
bring
will.
Do you think they'll
They
bring the?
probably will.
Yeah. I mean, some people were saying that they had an active subscription and they still were getting it
Mm.
glitching out. So
Do you think they'll bring the old Pokemon games up to Switch?
now,
Oh,
Maybe.
Individually for $9.99 a piece.
No, they'll put it
again?
on the online.
You think, Alex?
For the Pokemon
You
tier
think?
for additional $30 a year. And
Exactly.
yeah,
You
whatever way you're
got
gonna
me.
get Pokemon games on Switch is gonna be more money. You're not gonna get it for what you're paying now. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
That's true. Home should be included with Nintendo Switch Online, at least the expansion version, and it's like, no, pay us an extra subscription.
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, they re-enabled the ability to redeem download codes temporarily. So
Yeah,
you
I
have
saw
because
that.
they went
until
down earlier than
The
expected.
third.
yeah, you have until April 3rd at 9:30 p.m. Pacific time to redeem any download codes. So if you fumbled the bag there, you get a second chance. Make sure you don't do it twice.
I don't know how you got download codes, so good on you.
For
I don't
real.
like there are stores that still have download codes days before they could be dead.
Who knows?
Then I'm feel right.
Um, so yeah, uh, a couple real ones today.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
dude, that 3DS shopping bag with the smiley face. That's the biggest sale today.
Yeah, that's the thing. All three of the previous systems have had such like a charm to their eShops,
Yeah, they had life. I
and then
guess.
That complaint can kind of be taken to the Switch UI in general.
yeah,
There's
Yeah.
like no flavor. It's just
well,
what do you want to play? What do you want to buy?
yeah, because even with like making the Mii's, because Cooper brought this up previously, um, they're just off in a corner. You know, you have to
Yeah.
like actively search them out.
Yeah.
Like I get it's there's faster load times and stuff, but is that really worth it? I mean, I guess. I mean, it depends on who you ask, I
I
guess. But
mean, PlayStation and Xbox both have more going on, and both of those consoles have
yeah,
insane
they
load
have
times now.
insane load times, dude. The friggin' Spider-Man being able to like instantly move and stuff.
I learned that there are in fact loading screens for Hogwarts Legacy. Um, so I imagine the Switch version is going to be having
Uh
those
oh.
quite a lot
Oh, for sure.
because I accidentally left my PS5 on overnight because I thought I'd killed the game. No, so when I tried to teleport, it's like here's a loading screen for like half a second. I'm like,
Huh.
there's a loading screen with tips on it. Like like an old RPG.
Yeah, that was put in there just for when it comes to last gen plus Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially Switch.
Yeah. Um all right. And last opening thing here, there's a bunch of Microsoft and Sony garbage per usual. What would be a show of All Night Gamers without Microsoft and Sony being stupid? Um
Yeah.
True.
so Microsoft stopped the $1 trial offer for Xbox Game Pass.
Should surprise nobody. They're
Yeah.
prepping to raise those prices.
Well, that and also like they don't need to pitch this anymore. Like we're past the point of like people being queasy about it or like not knowing what it is. Everybody knows what it is that cares. There's no need.
I
Like
don't. I don't. I need a free trial.
Need free. Dollar. Nope. Need free.
I don't think I can
Yeah, free
understand this if
trial.
I paid $1. So
You don't understand. I am anti-capitalist.
and most likely it's not even because of like everybody probably knows what it is. It's because so many people were probably abusing that. I know several people that were. Um,
Oh yeah.
How did that work? How did abusing it work? Just create more emails or
No, you
No,
could
you could
literally
redeem it
use it
again.
on them.
There,
Yeah.
like you couldn't do it instantly. Like there was some time, but people that only kinda care, you'd have all your
Or
stuff still downloaded. You just
Mhm.
wouldn't play it for a while, and then after a couple months, be like, "Oh, I can do it again," and then you do it again and have a month to play whatever.
Oh,
But since you don't
okay.
really care, it's not a big deal when you lose it. It's just like play it while you can. At least get like see what it is. Get some free game time in or dollar game time in. UK regulator sides with Microsoft over Call of Duty on PlayStation's concerns. That's an interesting one. Japan has approved the merger between Microsoft and Activision Blizzard.
Oh no.
that's
Um,
getting closer.
yeah, there's a lot of Microsoft positive news this week. That's kind of making me nauseous.
yeah, it's not surprising.
Yeah. 11 members of Congress argued that Sony is unfairly hurting Xbox in Japan. This one was very interesting
It's
because
also a stupid argument.
Wait,
It's
our
also
Congress?
most of these people are from Washington, by the way.
Wait, like America's Congress?
yeah, like the United States Congress.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
so um, policymakers raised concerns last week to Biden officials, saying Sony's business practice in its native Japan market are blocking U.S. companies from competing and could be
Ain't no
running
way.
afoul of the U.S. Japan trade deals. Um, the unexpected pressure became public on Thursday when Senator Maria Cantwell from Washington State pressed the U.S. Trade Representative Catherine Tai on it during a trade hearing. Um, and from what I've been able to gather, so um, they're alleging that PlayStation has 98% of the high end console market in Japan cornered,
Right, because we've
which
taken
is
out Nintendo from the equation.
not
No, no,
no
no,
no
no,
no no
not
no,
just Nintendo.
but PCs too.
Yeah.
This
That and mobile.
yeah, so high
They
when they say high
so
end console market, they mean between Xbox and
Those two.
PlayStation. They don't mean
Yeah.
Switch. They don't mean mobile. They
when
don't mean PC. They don't mean
yeah,
anything.
when you skew the facts, Sony has a 98% market share in
When
Japan.
you lie, I guess they're not lying, but yeah,
They're skewing the facts,
like
which
that's
is
just so
technically
unfair.
lying.
Like forget the mobile and the Switch stuff entirely. You're talking about PC market in Japan. Forget everything else. Like there's no
Well, I
way.
mean, the other two are I don't the other two have at least as big of a share, if not more than PC. Because
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah, I
Japan,
wouldn't be surprised, but I'm saying like for like even
like
not even
you're
considering that, it's the PCs in Japan, my guy.
you're just excluding everything that makes your argument invalid.
Yeah, like you don't even need to bring up the fact that the Switch is also huge in Japan and that mobile gaming is also huge
That
in
mobile
Japan.
is also
You can just
insanely
look at
huge.
PC alone and be like, okay, so this is BS. Um,
No, 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 no.
Sony has a 98% share.
Sony's obviously bullying Microsoft. Microsoft did not screw it up on their first outing in Japan, and that's why Japan's like,
yeah, and that they also signed deals designed to keep hit Japanese games from Xbox, and says such moves quote may violate
Exclusives.
such moves quote may violate Japan's antitrust laws. So I'm not going to argue that. I don't know the legality, but like, yeah. So they have exclusives, which
Wow, which is exactly what Microsoft is trying to do here.
yeah. So that's a good argument for Microsoft because like, look, Japan, like Sony is loading up exclusives to do exactly what Microsoft is trying to do. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, Microsoft's great over here, but either let both of them play dirty or let neither of them play dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like Sony's been
Yeah,
doing this
yeah.
for a hot everybody in the video game market does this. That's what exclusives do. So like it might be hard to draw a line in the sand because it's a gray area, but if Sony's are like they're already doing it, is it really bad to let Microsoft have a win? Don't answer that honestly.
yes,
Yes.
yes. My favorite though is they're like, okay, we're gonna lobby with 11 most from our own state and tell them to say Sony's being unfair to us in Japan.
Like that doesn't fit. Well, how is that relevant?
So there's two. There's like a the point is that Sony is being very unfair in Japan. So either stop or let this go through because all that's going to do is give Microsoft a bit more of an advantage in the states. So are we doing anything worse than what Sony's doing in Japan?
Yes, because you're skewing the facts so that you can lie to the government.
Kind of smart, honestly.
Kind of smart to lie to the
So
government.
the
That's what you just
definition
said,
they
Cooper.
the only thing I can say though is the definition they're using is one that was created by the UK and Sony didn't say anything against it, so Microsoft's we can use it.
Yeah. Article 8 of the 2019 US Japan Digital Trade Agreement calls for the countries to enable, quote, non discriminatory treatment of digital products, which would include games. It's less clear if it would also pertain to game consoles. Um, so I think that's like where some of the legality comes in. Um,
That's what they're trying to argue is with that. That they're like they're making deals.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
They're not
but you
buying out these
also
companies.
are making deals.
Um, I love this bullet point. Let me read the context. So Sony's had a steep advantage over Xbox in Japan for essentially the entirety of Xbox's existence. Um, though the secrecy around gaming contracts obscures the underlying causes. Although we know what it is, but Sony does occasionally secure major platform exclusives such as Final Fantasy 16, a Japanese-made game expected to be big with Japanese and global audiences, and that's slated for PlayStation only, and I guess PC in the future. But we're not talking about that. The next bullet
That
point.
disrupts the argument.
But Japan's console market is also not quite a two-horse race. Nintendo, excluded from the definition of quote high-end consoles cited by policymakers, crushes both Sony and Microsoft in this in this region. So yeah, okay, Sony's playing dirty here, so why can't Microsoft play dirty there? But also Nintendo's technically not
Destroying
playing
both
dirty
of you.
because they're making most of their exclusives and they're doing better than both of them. So maybe Microsoft stopped being such a bag of shit.
No, but that means Microsoft can't own another company that they'll never use the properties of.
For real. How else are you supposed to get great games like Crash
No, they'll
Bandicoot,
use Call of
Nuts and
Duty.
Bolts?
How are you supposed to get great games such as Young Conquer?
Nut Clusters
Or
Ah,
EX.
you just reminded me that exists.
Wait, does it actually exist? Did they actually release that?
No, but they released a trailer, and that's all that matters.
now Breath of Wild. Oh, sorry.
Don't you mean Banjo of the Wild?
Hear me out, guys. So Breath of the Wild got a sequel. Now Banjo and Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts,
Nuts and bolts.
sequel.
Wait, no, they actually released him. You can use him
Actually,
on the all HoloLens thing. It says download him now.
So you can't use them.
oh, I was about to say you
Well,
can
Yeah, not the
release.
HoloLens.
uh So they're basically asking that the issue be raised with the Japanese government and identify additional barriers to American companies in accessing the Japanese gaming market. So what these Congress people are doing is essentially arguing that, well, if we don't let this go through, then maybe make it easier for us to get into your market. If Sony's so concerned about losing some market here, then maybe we should just be given some advantage in there, I guess. I don't know. Basically, the trade lady that got presented this, she said she'd look into it and quote said, "This one is new to me." So this definitely a hot like fresh take. Um, but yeah. Also, Microsoft is planning a mobile games app to rival both the App Store and Google Play Store. So I don't. It's so hard to tell what the actual problem is because Microsoft is really just going at it from every angle, like the world against us.
Yeah, that's basically it. The world,
Mhm.
we're third all over the world, so obviously everybody's against us. And it's like, maybe if you made, actual things, good games and exclusive games, maybe you wouldn't be third.
I mean,
Yeah.
didn't they have a decent market share with the sports games? Why don't they focus on sports games again?
I mean, they've got all the ingredients to do what Sony's doing.
No,
Like they don't need this Activision Blizzard acquisition in order to do what Sony's doing. But
really don't.
they're either there's some factor that I don't understand, which I'm not putting that out of the question. I'm an idiot. Or
Me too, me too.
But
they're
Sony
just
can
being
play Call
inept.
of Duty still, Grant.
Yeah, like why do I why like I mean for me like I'm a hardware guy first and foremost. So when I look at these two consoles, it's like okay, forget the games. I want the console that is designed cooler and has a way more functional controller with way cooler features. Like that's step 1. Step 2 is the exclusives. And they've bought a bunch of companies already, but you can't just buy them and expect the problem. Like you gotta
You
invest
gotta
in them.
use them.
You gotta give them guidance, tell them what to make, like be a part of the process. Act like you own
Hey,
them.
hey! They bought Rare and thought they had Donkey Kong, and then they let Rare do nothing for years because they didn't get Donkey Kong.
Exactly. So like your point is fair, but it's not exactly the root of the problem.
The root of the problem is Microsoft's stupid.
Yeah. It's just like this is just kind of I don't want to say unrelated, but kind of unrelated.
Mhm.
Anyway, all right, on to Collector's Corner, the weekly segment we go around what games have been playing, talk about what games have been playing, and all that good stuff. Mix it up. I'll go first this week. So I've been playing a lot with my Analog Pocket this week. I got a couple new games from the game store. I got Kirby's Pinball Land, Donkey Kong Land, Sega GT 2002. Um, I've been play. I play. I've beat the 4th dungeon in Oracle of Seasons. I uh, set up a bunch of ROMs on my SD card to be able to play. Got some new cores installed. Uh, I fixed my CRT. That was horrifying, a little bit. Um, but I made sure to do my research, so I didn't hurt myself. Everything's fine. I was safe. So now the composite inputs on the front of my TV are not screwed anymore. The solder joints had broken because probably whoever owned this TV before me had a kid that didn't understand how to not yank on composite cables. Um, so fixed that up. Learned a lot about CRTs. Um, glad that's working right now. Hmm. And then yeah, obviously got the Zelda pre-orders in, ready to go there. Um, and I think that's about it. I spent a lot of time in Oracle of Seasons over the past week just playing that. And also I played Pokemon Yellow a little bit. I don't know why. I just popped it in. Um beat oh yeah, the reason I had stopped playing was because I didn't want to deal with Mount Moon. So I got through Mount Moon and started just the usual grind stuff. I'm trying to find an Abra cuz I really just want to break the game cuz I want to play through a lot of the OG game again. It's been such a long time, but I don't want to go through the whole thing. It's not new to me anymore, so I just want to get an Abra, get it up to an Alakazam, and just power
break the
wash
game because
everybody in the
Psychic
game.
is
Exactly.
completely
Yes.
broken because there's no
Yes.
Oh,
dark
yeah.
types.
Yeah. Just absolutely stomp on everything. And I think that's about it. I replaced some cart batteries that I noticed were from 1993 and were probably
Ooh.
dead or about to die. Um, yeah, that's about it. Cooper.
All right. So I've been playing a bit of Minecraft. Faye. Oh, I played a. Oh, yeah. I think I posted this maybe. I'm not too sure. I'll try to find. Yeah. So I grinded out the Master Duel Battle Pass.
For Karibo.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I was asking about later in the show.
Ah.
That because Cooper posted that with no context, so I
Oh, my
wasn't sure if that
bad.
was like news or what. Because he posted
No.
this shit out.
Sorry about that. Um. Yeah, no, that was me just grinding it out because Karibo, and I mean, it's like you have to do the ranked mode or you don't level up. Like that's the
Oh,
only bad thing.
fun.
And everyone plays a meta deck, so they always are going to win on the first turn. So whoever goes second wins.
Loses. Wait, wins or loses? You
Wins
So
just
like,
because
said
I mean, you can make a first turn kill, but like it's rare. But whoever
is
is able
it
to attack first.
you get to attack first by going second.
Right,
yes.
right. So I it makes me feel filthy because I had to play meta, and I don't like.
Yeah.
I want to just play Blue Eyes, but Blue Eyes is too fair.
That's because there's a gazillion cards for Blue Eyes and Dark Magician, like
Yeah,
none for anyone else.
yeah, and like that's they like balance it out too much. Like, oh, Blue Eyes is strong, but like you can take him out with this and stuff. It's like,
I had a buddy in my other Discord for
mhm.
all my friends up here, that was like, all right, so my latest hyperfixation is Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm probably gonna go to a couple stores on Monday and maybe go to a tournament or something. And they're like an open offer for anybody who wants to go. And I was like, I made a decision a long time ago that I'm not gonna get into card games because I already have two hobbies that can be quite expensive, and I don't need a third.
And
Oh
card
yeah,
games is definitely that third you don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
it's
do.
basically the
dude.
same. Yeah, it's the same thing I say when someone asks me to play Magic. I'm like, no, because it might be good, and then I'm gonna get sucked into it. I've already got not enough money to spend on video games and car parts, so I don't need cards to be
Yeah.
another thing.
I wish he was on tonight, but Kyle, like he showed me what Magic was, and oh my god, I was like, oh wait, this is actually kind of fun. And now I have another card game I play.
That
So
to be fair, isn't Yu-Gi-Oh just Magic but not?
I'm gonna give you the video.
yeah, Magic player plays Yu-Gi-Oh.
The Magic player plays Yu-Gi-Oh.
I don't think I've seen
The
that.
Magic has 20 life points. How many do y'all have?
8,000.
8,000.
So good. But yeah, I've been playing and then I've been playing Labyrinthine, dude. So like if y'all can pick it up, it'd be fun. Like,
I'm probably gonna make that my scary game this year.
oh yeah, dude.
Just
Um,
like
You only buy one
uh,
scary game a year?
no, but I have like a game that I typically try to binge like around October, and that's kind of a game because like Resident Evil 4, I'm not gonna wait until October to play that.
Oh yeah, nah.
So it'll probably be
Gotcha.
that.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Like there's cases which are like separate from the story, and like we got last night like a hardcore case. If you die, you're done. And oh my god, I don't know how we did it, but we made it through and got a hardcore exclusive like cosmetic.
Nice.
It
we
was
love cosmetics.
for real. It was like, oh, it's a great game. Like even with my lights on, because like I leave my lamp on sometimes because it gets really dark. It's still like scary. But yeah, there's that. There's Minecraft, Faye, oh yeah, Master Duel, and then I think that's mainly it. And then, are we gonna discuss the multiverses thing?
Yeah, we've got it
Yeah.
on the sheet.
Okay, okay, sorry. I just saw it on my home screen. I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's mainly it. Oh wait, did I buy something?
I don't know. Did you?
Did I buy something? Wait, hang on. Um, I bought a Fusaki drink today. It was pretty good.
Nice.
Appreciate it. Um,
Alex.
yeah, I'm
You
good.
should let Cameron go first.
Okay.
Okay. So I have played. Is that this week? I might. No, that was last week. I'm looking at my home screen right now. Trying to remember if I played when I played Mario, but that was before the
Oh,
last show.
sorry, Cameron. I played
But
Tetris. I played the Tetris event.
I also played the Tetris event. Played the Tetris event. Played Splatoon 3. Obviously, I'm currently playing 3D World again. I finally beat um, the Mystery House as one character while I was waiting for Chelsea to get done with her appointment today. Um, Somehow I can only do it as one character at a time. I need to do it as four, so I don't have to play through it 5 times in a row. I'm still bad at Champions Road, so I went did the Infinite Lives trick so that I to finish it. Um, maybe we'll see. Um, I am most of the way through with Hogwarts Legacy. I have gotten basically, if it's not related to the main story and the side quests that are unlocked towards the end, then I have done it. Except maybe one butterfly thing, but I have no clue how to confirm the butterflies because they're not tracked anywhere except in the items. So I may or may not have all of the items. Uh, by the end of the game, I'm going to be upset if I don't. Um, but my game has already proven that it's glitching out. Because one of the Revelia pages did not count, even though I collected all of them. Thankfully, it's not one I need for the platinum. Otherwise, I would just finish the game and be done with it. So we're gonna see whether or not I actually get to like complete the game, or if I'm just never going to touch it again after everything else is proven done. Because I don't know at this point. Um, let's see. I secured um, uh, the Zelda OLED for the time being, uh, the Pro Controller, and we'll see if I keep those. I think that might be it. Um, Otherwise, I'm just waiting to see what happens at work since I'm starting on a new team now.
Nice. All right, Alex. Given you wanted to go last, I assume you either made a bad decision or you were talking about Resident Evil 4.
Well, I made a bad decision.
Oh,
All right, what
Okay,
is it?
I bought Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Donkey Kong, Kirby's Triple Deluxe, Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, Paranormal Sight, lots of DLC for
Shit.
the Entry and Odyssey games, and Radiant New
Cameron was like,
Story.
"Fuck, I ran out of fingers."
Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I
Alex
played.
said, they raised the rate for the cast members. That means I'm getting raised soon, right? Right?
Actually, we were talking about that at work. There's a possibility.
There is, but it would not be until your
No,
contract.
because they're getting it. I deserve it.
True.
Otherwise, there's going to be a $4 discrepancy.
Yeah, but that $4 discrepancy won't exist until the end of the year, or closer to it.
No, they're getting it like soon.
No, it's 17 soon. The 18 is closer to the end of the year. Regardless, it took 3 months when I was on the program uh, for us to actually get the pay raise when they bumped up to 15. So
Well, they're also getting a refund back through January.
yeah, no. October.
Oh,
They're
okay.
getting.
See, I deserve that. Anyways, let's
You didn't
talk
even
about
work
what
in
I.
October.
Yeah, but then they
Right.
only have to pay him 0, so that works
They,
out.
they can give me the January. It would be like a lot because I've put in. If it's the $3 that you're supposed to be owed back through January, and I've put
Wait,
in over.
okay, this is probably not. You know, we can finish this off the show, but I actually don't understand how the uh, payback works.
It's $3 through all your hours, so I know how many hours I've worked, like roughly because of the ticket things.
Oh.
Anyways, I played Fire Emblem Engage, Paranormal Sight, Tetris 99, Resident Evil 4, and a little bit of Splatoon 3. I also finished Jedi Battle Scars, the book. It was awful. Do not read it. It's really, really, really bad.
Well, lucky
You
for
were
you,
so
I
hyped
can't
for
read.
it too.
I'm jealous. It's bad.
Why'd
I
you
never
play
learned
it?
how to read.
Sucker.
It's terrible fan fiction. They basically take like most of like half the book is dedicated to the offer they're shipping her OC with Mirren.
Oh.
Hmm.
Fun.
It's so bad. The only important things you need to know are Grease loses an arm, but I feel like that's more like insider knowledge. They told her that Grease was gonna lose an arm in the game, and she's like, I can put that in the book
Hmm.
to make it feel more canon. And the four of them, the four main characters are kind of disagreeing on what to do. That's it. That's the only important
Wow,
stuff
that
that happens in the book
That's really
for the
sad.
games.
Cool.
feels so relevant. I'm so
Hmm.
glad Disney said money.
I'm so glad I can't read.
I'm so jealous. I'm being 100% serious. But that's it.
All right.
Well, I did a lot of work, so I'm very tired, but I slept most of today, so I feel pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah, work-life balance, work-life balance.
Yeah,
Who needs,
exactly. Just go to
who needs a
work.
work-life balance when you
Uh,
can have
go to
you don't
work,
make money
disassociate.
either.
Go to work, disassociate. Go to work, dissociate.
That's
Wait, no,
good.
I'm trying to figure out the benefit here.
There is none.
There's none.
Money?
Suffer.
That's how I bought so much stuff.
But you
A
don't
roof
make
that
money.
you can sit under and disassociate.
Wait,
You at least don't
Where's
have to
the
be rained on when you dissociate.
where do you get the disassociate part?
Because like when you work all day and then you come home and thinking anything
it's
is
just bad.
difficult.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
I
Thinking,
had that towards
maintaining
the end of my
focus.
workday.
Uh,
It's fun.
yeah, like doing things other than just sitting and either like doom scrolling or sitting in silence or
Like
just something
playing
random.
something, playing a game that you've already played, just so that you don't have to like actually figure it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sit at work. Nope, I stand.
Same different. I stood at a wall for 6 hours a day and definitely disassociated from the whole world.
I mean, I can disassociate in any position.
I can
Oh, yeah.
disassociate right now, but I don't want to.
Yeah. I have to actively prevent myself from disassociating during this because I worked all day, like the rest of us.
Yeah, this is.
This is
But and the
normal.
Today
problem
is
is,
today
I
is
was
my
sitting.
weekend.
Dude, the
I
American
know.
Tomorrow I go back to work.
I know it's very
Yo,
sad. You have a 1 day weekend now.
I don't know, guys. American Dream sounds kind of bad.
No, the American dream is winning the lottery. Haven't you been listening?
There we
Oh,
are.
true,
Yeah.
true. Let's go.
Dude, a guest came up to me recently and and they asked me. I don't remember how we got on it, but we were talking about the lottery. I was like, wait a minute, that's my solution to everything.
Guys, that's how Alex can pay off all the 3DS games.
Yeah,
Nowhere close.
that was a lot.
Look, I know how much I spent.
A lot.
A lot.
Less than you think. What do you think I spent?
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure that. Wait, which Kirby game did you say?
$300.
I did not spend $300.
$400.
I did not spend $400.
135.
I lost track of how many games you. I lost track of how many games you actually said, so I don't know. I know the
Yeah,
Pokemon
Grants,
games.
I disassociated.
Pokemon would have been like 60 though, because
Grant's
those were.
basically on it.
Hey yo, didn't even need 3.
Alex, right now, I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I did not have sexual relations with the 3DS eShop.
I would hope not.
Alex, you got married to your 3DS?
No.
Off the podcast.
Dang.
All right, Fast Fay.
All right, but I actually wrote it down this week. So Hall of Forms is ending soon. So if you want to pick up any of those hero units, I would recommend doing it now.
You've got
Paper,
Grail Veronica.
true, easy merge project right there. And then you have 2 tanks, and then you have actually no 3 tanks because Levitate's honestly still good. And then we have Fapes Spray Paula until the sorry 9th, April 9th. She came out on the 24th. My bad. I didn't check who was replacing her. Hang on. I'll do that real fast. I'm on the wrong site. One moment. But yeah, so we have Ray Paula, and then replacing her will be Aversa, right. We're gonna get Grand Hero Battle units now. That's gonna be crazy, because then we can get Grail units with +2 stats and new art. I'm hyped. Because Robin will finally get normal art and like updated. That's not just fallen. That's gonna be so hype. All right, and then yeah, and then a Hero Rises winner. All you have to do is just log in just once, go top right, click it, claim, and you get for Mortis.
Big
Yeah,
scary demon dude.
that guy, big man.
Big man.
The big
And
man himself.
you got to log in before April 21st, and then he goes away forever, and then you had to probably spend money to get him.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Big
For
scary demon dude.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
big
okay.
man. Yeah,
For Mortis.
yeah,
Gotcha.
and that's about it.
All right. On to the tidbits. Ubisoft pulled out of E3, and I don't think I could think of a better way to get people to not watch anything Ubisoft So
Wait, isn't Nintendo and all them already out too?
yeah, but the thing is, Ubisoft said they were going to be at E3
Oh.
like a
And
month
now,
ago, and now they're like,
and
eh,
now,
they're going to do their own event. So now instead of getting to learn about Ubisoft stuff on the side while watching for cringe, we're just going to get neither because
they're
like hell,
do
any of
no,
any of
well,
us are watching
they
that.
have their own show at the same time.
But is it live?
I think so.
Then maybe. Maybe. But the problem is without E3, there's not going to be any access lounge.
Yeah. No.
Lame.
Why did COVID have to happen right after E3 2018? Like that was like so good for cringe,
For real.
and then it just like never. We're just never going to get that again.
Exactly. COVID killed it, and I'm so upset.
COVID killed cringe. Now we
COVID
now
card.
now we just have to get on Twitter.
Yeah, but Twitter cringe is not the
Why?
same.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's the
dude,
point.
with Elon Musk doing the having to you have to pay for the subscription to vote in polls. I think Faye's gonna
You
make
also
it
have to pay to be in
the
the
for
For
you
You page,
Yeah, but
which doesn't make any sense.
I think Nintendo's gonna have the Faye votes, like all the Hall of Forms, finally not be on Twitter.
We kind
Like
of
I
have
think,
to. They're gonna have
yeah.
to implement it somewhere else.
Hopefully they'll do like a Choose Your Legends type thing. That's what I'm hoping for.
You know, people are like trying to take credit for um Twitter losing half its value, but it's clearly Elon just doing stupid
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, it's Elon being
Yeah,
a rich guy.
literally.
Yeah.
having too much money and blowing it all on Twitter. Well, I guess not all of it, but it could be
I
if
mean,
he keeps screwing up.
their systems are so screwed up, and so many people have left that it's kind of like impossible to verify if you worked for Twitter or not. So basically, everyone's worked for Twitter. You can say that you worked for Twitter, and they will not be able to verify that.
Are you serious?
That's
That's how bad Twitter's HR department is right now.
that's true because they don't have one.
Yeah. So
Oh, boys,
you can
did
just
you
say
remember
you were a
when we
software
all met
developer
at
for Twitter for
Twitter?
6 months. Yeah, like isn't that crazy? All the
Yeah.
time we worked at Twitter.
Can you guys believe it? Our whole college career was just spent at Twitter.
Yeah.
Bro.
All that experience writing code for Twitter.
And it was all deleted by Elon Musk, so nobody can confirm the fact that I, worked at Twitter or not. So I worked at Twitter,
Dude, I worked at Twitter. I worked at dang,
Instagram.
true.
Um, so yeah, E3 gets
Shafted.
closer to death by the day. Also, Ubisoft has the line says Ubisoft hired AI writers, more like downloaded. Uh, but yeah, Ubisoft
Oh.
is using AI to help write conversation text in games.
Here you go. Go up to the boss. You'd be like, "All right, I worked at Twitter. I worked at Blockbuster, and I worked at the 3DS eShop."
I I worked at the 3DS eShop.
Bro, I was the bag.
You don't understand. I voiced the bag. How are you going to confirm it?
Bro, put me as a reference. You could say I was the two blue dots in the loading screen.
I was the Pikmin.
But yeah, so Ubisoft is using AI now to help to write their in-game conversation text. So
Oh no.
again, they didn't really hire any writers. They more like downloaded some writers, but yeah, they're doing that. Multiverse's beta is going to close on June 25th to prepare for their full release in 2024.
It
It's going to
won
be
best
taken.
fighting game
It did, yeah.
as a beta.
It's being pulled from online stores on April 4th, so a week from the time of this recording. 6 days from release of this episode. But yeah, it'll officially go down on June 25th, and we'll get the full release next year.
Good thing the only person that spent money on it is Cooper.
And Kyle.
Yeah. And
Oh,
Kyle. At least you get to keep the stuff. That's what they said. You
Yeah.
don't get a refund, but you get to keep the stuff. So
All your stuff will still be there when it opens back up.
Yeah.
And as long as you've got it downloaded, it will work.
okay.
that's weird. What happens if you lose your system that it was on?
I guess you're screwed.
Hmm.
Well, no, you link your Warner Brothers account, I think. So
Yep.
it's like Faye, I think. No idea though.
There's a new Splatoon 3 player tag background that you can get by scanning a QR code. It's like a celebration for the North American Championship that they've been doing for Splatoon 3.
I need to do that. I keep forgetting.
That's
Well,
available.
it only came out like yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago. It's very, very recent.
So that's available. Shop Disney is now selling remote control yellow BD units based on BD1 from Jedi Fallen Order.
I don't get why he's yellow though.
I don't either, and also he's not in any other colors from what I saw.
He's going to be
Like I
yellow and
think
you're
it's
going to like
super
it.
cool, but like, why is he yellow?
Because it makes no sense.
I guess so. It's not. It's like it's not BD1 though. This is a different droid. You don't have Cal
No,
droid,
but think about this.
but you can
When
buy
they
Chopper.
release him, no, but when they release him in the parks, they can have him be BD1. Actually, I don't know why they're not doing that with the game about to release. That would have been smart marketing. I don't know, Disney making a lot of stupid decisions lately, anyways. So, yeah.
Mega Man NT Warrior episodes are now on YouTube, hosted by the official Capcom page.
Yeah, I saw those on my you know, doom scrolling of YouTube.
Which is cool.
Mhm.
They posted all the episodes.
Lego 2K Drive announced.
Oh yeah, we we both ended up posting that. I'm very excited to see how that works.
Yeah, that'll be.
It won't.
It won't.
Counter-Strike 2 was also announced. That's going to be big.
Oh yeah, no, that Counter Strike 2 is going to be very, very big. I'm absolutely certain of that.
Yeah. Tetris 99 had a Fire Emblem Engage event last weekend. Is that the one y'all played?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one I played. I actually did Alex's as well because I got like fourth during one of my rounds, so I spiked up to like 90, and I was like, I'm only gonna have one video if I don't record Alex's as well. And thankfully, he'd only done like 20 points, so I had plenty of room to play with. Because surprisingly, I can only do like one of those rounds per event.
Resident Evil 4 Masterpiece Theater had another episode released.
Yay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
They're just fun little videos Capcom was putting out.
Oh yeah, so the infamous Dolphin emulator, the GameCube and Wii emulator, is going to be on Steam and Steam Deck too. So
Well, it doesn't
That's-
surprise me. People are
that's
already
quite-
putting it on Steam Deck.
yeah, I mean you might as well just let them have it.
Officially, you know.
Now, obviously, you're still going to have to deal with your totally legally acquired ROMs, asterisk, asterisk. But it will be there. GameStop is going to have a Flying Terra Lechonk as a code this Saturday, April 1st, according to their official Twitter. So either be there when they open or just don't get it because everybody's going to scalp them, probably.
What are we talking about?
That's it. For Scarlet and Violet, they're doing a distribution code of one of
Okay.
the easiest Pokemon in the game to get.
Gotcha.
Steam is dropping support for Windows 7, 8, and 8.1 on January 1st of next year.
Oh no.
Um, Not shocking. I mean,
I mean,
Windows doesn't even support.
Windows is already yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Windows doesn't support Windows.
So, not
Like
shocking.
that's why I officially switched to Windows 10 because as soon as they were like, yeah, Windows 7 is no longer going to be getting security updates, I was like, fine, I'll switch the security updates. Even though my laptop is now just, you know, literally just for videos in the podcast.
In-game cheat codes have been discovered for Gran Turismo 4. Uh, that's like almost 20 years after its release. For reference, Gran Turismo 4 was on the PlayStation 2. I think the thing was you had to have 365 days of in-game days pass before you can use them, which is probably why nobody ever found them. But essentially, just breaks the game. Like it lets you get a bunch of money and get any car you want, etc., etc. So that's cool. I played
It
GT4
is
as
a
a kid,
lot,
and I was
though.
bad at it because I was too stupid to understand how to race a car.
Well, apparently you should have just played continuously and you would have gotten the cheat codes.
Yeah, I know, right?
Who discovered that? Some
Yeah.
streamer, I guess.
I have no idea.
That's such a weird thing to be able to be like, I discovered this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know there's going to be someone that's like, but I knew about that in uh, elementary school or whatever, whenever they played it as a kid. It's going to be like, yeah, that's why your name's attached to the discovery, right?
Hmm. The Last of Us, the port to PC has been heavily criticized on release day for poor performance. Shocker, that's happened with most of them.
Wow.
Actually, one of my coworkers in stand up yesterday was excited for that, so I'm gonna ask him tomorrow because I think he was gonna get it. Um, See what he thinks.
I feel like my stand-ups were the most work-related stand-ups of any team I've ever heard of.
Well, I mean, it wasn't during stand up. It was like before. I usually get on like 5 minutes beforehand to like open the meeting and like let people just trickle in. So there's some small
Yeah.
talk going on, and he's like the one guy that will like talk. Most of them are pretty quiet, obviously, because we're software engineers. But he'll talk about video games and stuff. Um, Sonic Origins Plus was announced. There's 17 games, and also Amy is playable in them. I saw the list you put here. So OG Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog CD, Sonic 2, Sonic 3 Knuckles, Blue Sphere, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Sonic the Hedgehog 2 from the Master System, so the 8-bit demakes. Sonic Chaos, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Sonic Drift, Sonic Spinball, Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble, Sonic Drift 2, Tails Sky Patrol, Tails Adventure, Sonic Labyrinth, and Sonic Blast. All available.
Yeah, Amy's obviously playable in the regular ones, like the ones that were in the first Origins game. Probably not all the Master System.
Yeah. Um, who the
But
hell
she's
would
got her.
choose to play the Master System version of Sonic the Hedgehog?
You would do it for the meme, and that's about it.
Yeah, you do it for like either for like, haha, look how bad this is, or like, huh, I wonder how bad this is. Like genuinely curious, but either way, you just know it's gonna be bad. PlayStation Spider-Man 2 will release in September, claims one of the voice actors. So we'll see about that. But maybe. The very last episode of the mainline Pokemon anime has officially aired in Japan. Another
Yeah.
Oh
moment of
no.
silence.
Uh,
You're not serious. You don't. No one
um,
died. It's okay.
um, So I did actually see like the ending cutscene or ending scene of that. Um, yeah, it's left open ended enough that if the new series fails, they're going back to Ash.
Well,
Like,
of course, you
it's
don't want to block yourself out of beating that dead horse a couple more times just in case it throws up some more money.
yeah, because
Might be a little bile left in there.
they changed his dream from oh yeah, I've become a Pokemon master to a Pokemon master is whatever I decide it is essentially catching all the Pokemon or what whatever. Some whatever they want to be able to be like, look, look, he's back. You like nostalgia, right? He's back.
It's more like break in case the new stuff fails.
Yeah.
Nintendo producer says that Bayonetta Origins is likely not the end of the Bayonetta series. Yeah, no duh. Like
The
it's not a
prequel was
huge
series up.
franchise, but it's very popular and they're great games. Bayonetta 3 was well, I mean super anticipated ever since Switch launch. So,
And Nintendo doesn't even have to make them; they just fund them.
yeah, really. Like
Mhm.
obviously it's going to be a while till we get another one cuz we just freaking got one. So hold your horses.
And we
But
just got two.
yeah, but no duh, it's not the end
And
of the series.
everyone's still mad that it's Nintendo only. Like
That's their
maybe the
fault.
other companies should have.
Mm,
See, this is the
This
problem.
is
Didn't
why
they go to
Microsoft needs to
Microsoft?
have Bayonetta.
They had the opportunity. Platinum went to both of them first.
Haha.
Just because it released on both of those systems.
Yeah, and Nintendo actually had to go to Platinum and be like, "Yo, we want this."
We got you. They don't.
And they did. And now they have three Bayonetta games. And
Four
the others have
Three
or
mainline.
three,
well
because
the others have one total. But they have three Bayonetta exclusives. And Microsoft is still over here trying to buy out companies. Do you think they're gonna try to buy Platinum?
they would have to buy Sega.
Oh, that's true. I was forgetting about that little factor.
Is that right? No, Platinum. No,
No,
Platinum's not
you're
owned
thinking of
by
Atlas.
anybody. I was
You're
thinking
thinking of
about
Atlas.
the first Bayonetta game is owned
Was
by Sega.
hmm.
Yes.
Like it's made by Platinum, but Sega owns the licensing rights, which is why it was released on PC not too long ago,
Yep.
or a long time ago. But like,
It
I don't know.
was
Time
close.
does
It was
not work.
after Bayo 2 released
It
because
was after
people
Bayonetta 2.
people expected Bayo 2 to get a PC port as well.
Yeah.
In what world? Theirs, but not anybody who actually knew.
Persona 5X beta was released in China. Got 3 new songs from Lin, and all the demons have been censored.
Or at least a lot of them have. It's kind of funny looking at them, though.
Yeah.
I posted it somewhere. I don't see it. Okay.
It's in the chat. I
Yeah, it
definitely
is in the
saw.
chat.
Um, Old but still interesting tidbit. One Piece had a Japanese 3DS exclusive title in late 2014 that had amiibo costumes in it.
Yeah,
Nice little 3DS tidbit for the death of that.
Oh.
Onto the rumors. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora is rumored to go live soon. So
I still don't know what that's even supposed to be. So
cool.
Because that's not something that's been announced to my knowledge. I saw the rumor and I was like, okay, that's certainly a rumor for a game that I've never heard of.
Skies of Arcadia is apparently up next for a potential remaster.
We'll see.
Yeah.
No idea.
Um.
Oh no.
Huh.
I
Huh?
know we're in the rumors section, but right after we started the show, it was apparently announced that Square Enix had released Final Fantasy VII NFT cards.
Oh,
That
No.
is
But it
The
really
also
president
unfortunate news. That's hot off
that's
the press.
that's on Ford, bro.
the
Yeah.
president's leaving. That wants to do all that.
but it also says digital slash physical. How is it an NFT if it's physical?
Bro,
You're already asking too many questions.
you're asking a lot of questions.
Yeah.
It prints money, right?
Yeah. That was the coldest hot news I've ever heard.
That was
Right.
so sad.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles graphic novel The Last Ronin is getting a video game adaptation apparently along the lines of God of War. So it's gonna be kind of like
What the?
yeah. So it's not like a like related to God of War, but like the same kind of mechanic like structure of God of War in terms of how the game plays. Is gonna get a video game adaptation. So
Yeah.
that is super interesting. Um, I think it's long past due that we have a badass Ninja Turtles game, like a grown-ups one where like there's blood and like heavy violence, because people that cared about Mutant Ninja Turtles are now way past being old
Goals.
enough to want that. Like,
Hmm.
so
I don't
yeah,
know. They still praise because I was looking up it when back when I was trying to find out if it was good. I found a lot of reviews praising Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh, I've seen
interesting.
that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, because I bought it, you've seen it, and it is a good
Oh, I
movie.
think I watched it on. Oh no,
Voodoo.
did I watch that with you? Yeah, I did watch that with you.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I watched things.
Yeah, so the novel is from 2020 and it's about a grim futuristic story about the Ninja Turtles where apparently like they're the primary action is said to center on the only surviving turtle. Um
Hey.
Other characters
Hey.
could be playable in flashback sequences similar to how the comic plays out, but they said it's going to be a darker, more mature take. So
It kind of has to be.
yeah, likened it to a third-person action RPG similar to God of War.
I was wondering how you would work out with 4 playable characters, but if it's just one, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, the comic series um, makes that identity of the turtle that you follow kind of like a mystery.
Vague.
So he doesn't have a color attached to him. Like he wears black, and he has all the weapons of the four turtles.
That's what I would also do, though.
Yeah.
Like, make it.
How else are you gonna do it?
I know
Though,
no one probably cares, but I won't reveal the identity of the turtle here. Um,
Does it say what it is, or do you just
yes, I
no?
I just read it. So
I see.
it's yeah, I mean it's one of the turtles. If you really care, go
It's
read.
one of the turtles.
If you really care, go read the book. If you don't care, go look it up. It's right there. Um, Everybody else has been exterminated by the Foot Clan. So
right, they're main
Rule
enemies.
34. Um, so yeah, that'll be interesting. Um, References to a Separate Ways DLC is found in the code of the Resident Evil 4 remake.
Hey, I was right. That was my bet.
Yeah.
I was like, which one would it be? And I was like, it will be that one. And it was.
So,
Yeah, I did look it up.
hmm. The RE4 Mercenaries mode also leaked. Um, let's see. Ada,
There's
Leon,
costumes out.
Wesker, Hunk, Lewis, and Krauser are all there. Ada has an alternate skin red dress, and Leon has an alternate skin pinstripe suit.
Alternate.
Yeah, alternate Leon.
The-
If you see someone that looks identical to you, dude, I keep
Right.
seeing those. People are getting very scarily good at those videos. I don't know if I like it because like that just means I can't scroll when I'm in bed anymore because I might find one of those and I'm not sleeping. The Mercenaries DLC is releasing April 7th. Is that part of the rumor or is that confirmed?
That is part of the rumor.
Okay, so reportedly will come out the end of next week. And also, reported through IGN, there's more rumors swirling around E3's future. Sega and obviously Ubisoft and more publishers are backing out of the event, so this might be the second and actual death of E3 here soon. Yep. And all right, so finishing topic for the week, since the Wii U and 3DS eShop are down, we're gonna talk about some of our favorite games for those systems. Now we can do honorable mentions. We already talked about some favorite Wii U games back when the Wii U turned 10 years old a while ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we want to try to just like name a bunch of good titles since we've already kind of done this. So
We can do that for Wii U and then 3DS actually pick.
well, we are. Don't you mean the other way? Because we did the Wii U one.
Yeah, I actually picked the Wii U titles, and
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
and we can still give honorable mentions for Wii U, but
we've kind of already.
Um,
Yeah, it's kind of like we
we
talked about
did
that.
do that a couple months ago.
Yeah. So let's say for the Wii U, you got to pick one title,
And then we'll do a bunch of on
and then
okay.
for 3DS we can do like what we usually do and like name some that are really good and also just talk about others. But or we can just like talk about games overall from these that are good. But everybody needs to pick one title from each platform. Like that, if you had to pick one, what are you picking?
Okay.
I'll start. Wii U, Yoshi's Woolly World. I love the aesthetic. It's got a ton of amiibo compatibility because it was right at the height. Uh, the amiibo are adorable, obviously. And it's Yoshi, so one of my favorite platformers. Um, so it's just like that. I don't know if that would be necessarily my favorite if it had also been ported to the Switch, because I mean it got ported to the 3DS, but I don't count that. You know what I count that as? Coochie Amiibo.
It doesn't matter if it's been ported anywhere, but if you make the recommendation and it has a port, you can't include any feature that was a port. Like it has to be in
Well,
the original game that was on
I
the
think
system.
I think the only thing the 3DS version added was the Poochie Pups and being able to call Poochie. Um, Yay! Like
Yeah, I
most
mean,
of those
I think
levels are not designed for Poochie,
that's a great
so
submittal.
yeah, I honestly wouldn't mind like playing through that again for the channel if I had the time and the Wii U, because the Wii U's back home. So, but it's quite enjoyable.
Yeah, Pinnacle, good feel, great art style, great music,
Mhm.
perfect. I mean, it's just an all
I
around good platformer in general.
I honestly kind of think I like the aesthetic better than Crafted World.
Oh, for sure, I agree. I
Like
think most people would agree to that.
I like I understand they needed to differentiate it. I think they could have kept at least the woolly Yoshis and been fine, honestly. Um, it's just I've never really determined what exactly I don't like about the aesthetic of Crafter World. Like it's cute. I like how it looks. I just like how the aesthetic of Woolly World looks better.
Yeah, I think most people would agree to that.
Mm,
My Wii U, I think I'm gonna go with Bayonetta 2.
Nobody's surprised by this.
No,
Absolutely not.
yeah, this
That's
is
at the,
that's
that's
obvious
always been at
pick.
the top.
Yeah, and like it's it's kind of hard to. It was hard for me to recommend that at first because like I'm just so used to Bayonetta 2 now. I've played it a million times and it's on Switch and all this other stuff. But like, I was trying to like think back to when I was playing Wii U and like what was my go to game, and I didn't want to say Smash and Mario Kart because those are boring answers.
Also, they both have better versions.
Yeah. But the Switch port of Bayonetta 2 is essentially just the same damn thing anyway. And when Bayonetta 2 first came out, like that was just a game changer. That was so good. It really kind of like opened my eye to my love of hack and slash games. And also just the fact that seeing all that horniness going on a Nintendo console was very new to me. And
Yeah.
very off, it was like, why is I feel like I should be on the dark corners of my computer right now playing this. Why is this on a Nintendo console? Yeah, it's just
mhm.
all around incredible game.
Okay. Do I go? Or
Sure.
just
Either way.
alright.
Well, I think actually I think Bayonetta, uh, like both of them from the Switch or Wii U to the Switch port, barely changed.
That's
I
what
want
I'm
to say
saying.
I want to say one of the only things added was the amiibo compatibility for two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
They
solid.
already had the costumes that everybody loves. Anyways.
Yeah, yeah. It's just here, tap Fox and Peach and Samus, like because that would release shortly enough before Amiibo released that. Why would they bother developing support for them?
It's Nintendo Land. It was always gonna be Nintendo Land.
Nobody is surprised.
I considered Wind Waker HD and then went, no, it's gonna be Nintendo Land.
It's going to be a Wii U exclusive,
Yeah,
not a port.
I considered Wind Waker HD as well, but that's not really I wouldn't call that a Wii U
That's
game. Like it's
no,
a
that's
better version
It
of Wind
is.
Waker for sure, but
Yes.
like that's
it
And
not
is
the
the
game
they
best
like
way to
completely.
play.
yeah, but like that's not really a like it's a great Wii U game, but if I'm gonna pick one to tell like that you can only experience on Wii U or like like and if you can't experience somewhere else, it's the same damn thing. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
and like the game was already
Wind
great
Waker
from
HD is the
GameCube.
definitive
Yeah,
version, but it's not a Wii U game? Or it is, but it's not. If that
Yeah,
makes
it's
it's a
it's
remaster.
yeah, it's a remaster. So
It's just kind of weak. So I
It
agree.
would like me picking Metroid Prime Remastered. Is it the best version of the game? Basically.
Mhm.
is it
It's
But is it
missing
a
one thing
go-to Switch game? Like, is it a
it's
Switch
missing
game? Eh.
yeah, exactly. It's missing one thing Metroid Prime Trilogy had. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I just remember people pointed out it wasn't there, and there's a good chance it gets added because Fusion is added. I think it's the costume. Um, I think that's like the one thing missing. But yeah, it's like that. But yes, it's Nintendo Land.
Yeah.
Great tech
understandable?
demo.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Hard to beat it, especially when you charge $50 for the next one.
it's
Yeah.
crazy to say this, but I think I have to say Splatoon. Like,
No, I 100
I I
respect.
respect that.
Yeah, I mean,
like
that totally changed my outlook on shooters cuz like, growing up before that, all I had played was Call of Duty
hmm
I
and
also considered Splatoon because I was like, look how fast it has made a series.
yeah, like it was
Yeah,
great and like again, it's kind of like it's easy to get lost and like not feel like it's all that crazy anymore because now we've been through this whole rigmarole and we're on the third one. Like like we know everything about Splatoon, but like
Yeah, we're
back in
on the third one
2015,
with
like
Yeah.
when that came out, that
two
was just like
DLC.
crazy. It was a totally new thing. Everybody praised it for being a unique take as a shooter, and it really is. Um,
Dude. Yeah.
it's hard to appreciate now because we've been through it, but yeah,
Right.
I think
It's 8 years old.
3 full games
Yeah.
and 2 DLCs.
yeah.
It's crazy, and it's
Yeah.
only 8. Yeah, it's a
And I
very young
mean,
series to have so
well,
much.
It's so
consider this as
small.
well, right? Sorry, Cooper.
No, you're good.
Consider this as well, right? Nintendo had enough faith in Splatoon to drop an amiibo with it. Because they,
That's a good point.
even because what was it? Majora's Mask released on 3DS after amiibo started, right? In
Mhm.
2015 with the Skull Kid statue. That could have been an amiibo, and it
I
wasn't.
don't I don't know if it
True.
Majora's Mask needed an amiibo though. I don't know
Well,
where you would put it.
nothing needs an
That's a
amiibo,
good.
and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
coming
but
from me. But like,
I'm gonna say this: Majora's Mask is closer to the Ocarina of Time thing than uh remake than
Yeah, like given that that's a remake, I can see where that's like kind of a shaky
you get amiibo
argument, but
now
I
with
get your
remake,
point.
but
Yeah.
I don't know if they would have done it that early.
And
Yeah.
also
yeah,
that Majora's Mask came out with the new 3DS, and so to use an amiibo in that game, you either had to buy a new 3DS or spend an extra $30 on the adapter thingy.
I
which
have the
wasn't even out yet.
adapter, which is
Yeah.
Yeah,
crazy
the
now.
adapter the adapter didn't even come out until like September alongside uh Happy Home Designer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that would have been a harder sell.
Although they did do the Fire Emblem amiibo with uh codename Steam.
Oh yeah.
And what did that release with? A Majora's Mask pin. They
That's
really tried to sell
still
that
one of the
game.
funniest things.
They tried so hard
I
to sell that game.
considered buying that and went, nah. I just don't have that much extra money. I bought things I most of what I was buying was just the DLC to finish things or like the Pokemon games where it's like these are like the definitive versions of these right now
Mhm.
because they have the bonus content from download. So I bought DLC and
That's
then
true. You can get Celebi.
you can get Celebi and you can also get Mew.
Mhm.
Um,
Honestly, like, sorry, going back to Splatoon, like,
yeah, no, I was gonna
just like,
say we kind of like completely obliterated Cooper's topic.
um, it was just great. Like, first coming out, like, new ideas and everything, and like, just listen, like, I can always go back and listen to the music and just be like, damn, it's just so good.
Yeah.
I very much miss being able to play mini games in the lobby. Like
Yes.
I think that being able to kind of interact with your teammates is an improvement. Splatoon 2 is definitely the weakest of the wait in the lobby uh, for a game. But I mean, even with Splatoon 3, I'm still picking up my phone because what am I going to do? Just play around in the lobby until the round's ready, especially on my crappy Wi-Fi,
Yeah, like
taking 60
there's
seconds.
no feedback. It's not like a
Yeah.
game. It's just like a opportunity to practice, like which I think I would
Mhm.
prefer, but I get what you're saying. Like the mini game, it had a lot of charm and like just like made you want to keep playing it. And it was fun.
Yeah, at
For
least it
real.
gives you something to do. Because like
Yeah,
it's not, it's not
there's
like
enough to
it's
pull you in for a couple minutes, which is all you need.
Oh yeah.
especially back in Splatoon 1 when it was like, oh, here's whatever.
Here's a
You
like
know,
doodle jump or whatever, but it's
essentially,
squids.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Squid Jump.
Yeah.
like it had the perfect charm. It's just so simple.
The
That's
the
why I
s-
love the gamepad.
the Splatoon 1 soundtrack I think is going to be in my very select list of video game soundtracks that I could listen to, like along
Yeah,
the
yeah,
likes of
yeah.
Bayonetta 1's ending music and Donkey Kong Country and really there's several SNES games I could say. Um,
Super Mario World.
Like
yeah.
going forward, any like new Splatoon soundtrack, there hasn't been one that's like beat Splatoon ones for me personally. Like,
Yeah, I think the problem is like you can only do something like when they did it the first time, it was really awesome because it was like a cool indie punk take on this game. Like that whole aesthetic of Splatoon 1 was fresh
oh
at the
yeah,
time, and that's still what they're maintaining now. And they've changed it up every way. And I've actually uh, a YouTube channel called Scruffy makes some good videos about Splatoon 3's music theory. Um, and not only and also the first two games, but he like analyzes the differences between the games and like how the differences in the music follow the lore. But it's still
oh
always been
yeah.
that like indie punk rebellious kind of rock vibe, and
hmm
it's never going to be as special as the first time. As
Yeah,
with
no,
most things,
like
the first time is always the most special.
they literally did peak the first time, and like, oh, that's
It's very good. I agree. And also, it was like
like,
the for me, it was the first multiplayer game that was not Call of Duty that I played online. It was the first online game that we played a lot together.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
during
Um,
true.
Splatfest, yeah,
I mean, it's easier now that we can all
Still
just
play
have our
together.
switches, but
yeah,
like,
yeah, I remember
you know,
being on like 3 hour long phone calls because like we didn't Discord wasn't a thing for us at the time and there was no voice
Skype
chat.
was bad.
Yes, just like
yeah.
super long phone calls playing Splatoon. Yeah, those are good memories.
Hmm.
I agree. That was a
Um,
great game.
I think the thing I always miss will have like the map on the Wii U. That was always so cool to me. Just being
Yeah,
able to click go, like, oh,
Ink Strike. Just if you knew the map, just press and keep running.
and then when our Wii U gamepad, like when it still blacked out, you could still make
You
out
can
the
still
map.
play enough of the map to throw with the Ink Strike. That's all I needed. Because it's it's not like I was looking down to see what needed to really be painted. Like I do enjoy that ability on the Switch versions, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I liked being able to just know what the map looked like, so I could throw an ink strike at the enemy base towards the end. That game
Definitely.
was so broken though. All of the abilities were unbalanced.
That's what made it balanced, though. The
Yeah, that was really good. Also, like they that got them really into the competitive gaming scene. I think like there wasn't Smash. Like it was something that they could take to competitive gaming. That
That
wasn't
was
Mario
that they
Kart or
could
Smash.
control as well.
Yeah, and
yeah,
it's
because it was
like
new, so they could do all the events for it.
and
Because Mario Kart kind of like I know Mario Kart Wii got really big. And I know eight. Obviously, they've been pushing eight deluxe, but like they could control Splatoon,
also like
and they
the
have.
focus with that multiplayer is well it's competitive or cooperative competitive. So like you could actually have
Yeah.
teams because like doing team play in Smash is kind of BS. So you can't really do that competitively. Um,
Doing teams in Mario Kart
same.
definitely BS.
Yeah, but like having it making it like it's like esport, like their first real push into esports was Splatoon because now you can have teams of people and like a lot of heavy strategy that is not super obvious because now you can have teams like it requires coordination. There's a whole nother layer of difficulty to being the best. So that like them pushing into that and like the Vocaloid concerts they did with the projections of the Squid Sisters and stuff that was super cool. I wish I could have been there for those. Um,
You can
because
watch the. Actually, there was a there was an update to a Japan exclusive 3DS. Like I don't know if it was live TV or whatever, but you could tap Calamari into it and get the concert that way.
Yeah, I've watched them on
Oh.
YouTube and stuff, but like, not only is that super cool in its own right, but when Splatoon 1 came out, like, that was like when I first really discovered that I loved Vocaloid in general.
Yeah, for real.
And
Like it's just mesmerizing.
yeah, it was
Like
very, very good. So I agree. I
yeah.
think Cooper might take the cake on the recommendation there.
Yeah, that one.
Let's go.
That one's
Like,
very, very good.
like, so I mean, it kind of balances out. Alex and I, both had recommendations. You cannot like replicate properly because
Yeah,
the
no.
3DS is a downgrade for Woolly World, just because you don't get the aesthetics as nice and crisp as they are on the Wii U. You cannot replicate Nintendo Land. Bayo,
No.
Yeah, but Bayo
uh,
and Splatoon, like, you can play them elsewhere, but like the specialty of the Wii U versions of those games is like just kind of hard to find.
yeah, especially
Yeah.
when they actually first dropped.
Yeah. And
Like
Splatoon more
there's
so,
something different
like
about it.
Bayonetta, there's not all that much exclusive on Wii U. Like, the reason I'd pick it is just because it's a great Wii U game and it was huge at the time, but Splatoon is something that I don't think you can replicate either. Like, it's
Yeah.
Now, like it exists. Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3 obviously are selling very well. But like there's
and the difference
it
between
was
what you and Alex suggested in Splatoon is that there's other versions of Splatoon, and but like that just further proves the point that Splatoon 1 has things that you just can't get any. I get it provides easier comparison to like the specialty of it because like we've had
yeah,
multiple games in this series now.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
because I mean like because that was the first new Nintendo IP since what, Pikmin? Like properly anyways. If we're not including the Wii games. Is that right? That sounds about right.
Like
There's probably some in there, but the first like big Nintendo IPs,
The
yeah.
first like big property.
Yeah.
Um yeah. Like
All right. Well,
uh
let's not
it's
sell the
just
3DS short here. Let's move on to 3DS.
oh sorry. I just wanted to add one more thing.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, like with the Switch, like most games, if someone comes over to your house, most games that you can play on the Switch is probably either gonna be Smash or Mario Kart. But, like with the Wii U, you could be like, "Hey, do you want to play Nintendo Land? Do you want to try it out?" Like, I don't know. I don't know. It just had a great
that's
charm.
that's true. That is something I feel like kind of has fallen to the wayside with the Switch is the couch co-op games.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
but
mean,
that's kind of been just the direction of
that's just
gaming
in
in
general.
general. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Which I miss. I miss couch
definitely,
co-op.
dude. That's why I love games like Death Row to Canada. It's so good.
Yeah.
Just sit down with your buds. Oh,
All right.
Dedicate to the.
3DS.
I've
you
got
go.
one
so
if you all want me to go.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
go
sure.
ahead.
Kick
yeah,
us off.
you
I've
know,
got my number one pick, and then we
I'm
can
gonna
talk
be
about
mad if
other
it's what I have, but you go.
things. It's a Link Between Worlds.
Okay, it was not that, but that
that
is
understandable.
honestly it's just because I
Yeah,
didn't think about it because I'm bad at remembering games. But that is, yeah, a
I have
fantastic
a
Zelda
Link
game.
Between World poster up right now. I can't
That's
not
true.
pick
It is
true.
in his apartment right now.
Yeah, that's a great 3DS game, a great continuation of
all I think about with that game was just like how many 10 out of 10s it got. Like every
yeah,
application
a
gave
great continuation of Link to the Past, which subjectively one of the best Zelda games ever made, and it's a great
and the
follow up to
stuff
that.
and its story is just kind of fun. Ravio's fun, Hilda's fun. The final boss fight's great.
Yeah, it's not afraid to be a little goofy.
Mm.
And yeah, and just that you could rent the items. So you could
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
so you could
to
do
any of
whatever
the
you wanted.
dungeons. Yeah, you could go wherever you wanted.
yeah, that fantastic pick. I think that's very good.
Mhm.
Um,
Um,
Oh, I got one.
all right, what you got?
okay.
Chibi Robo
I
Zip
knew you were gonna
Lash.
say that garbage.
No.
No, no, no. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Honestly,
We all knew he was gonna say it, but it still got me. He actually said it.
Hang on, I actually think it's hard.
Um,
I'm actually looking at my 3DS case right now, and I'm like, I'm missing a game. Like there's a slot empty.
That's an L.
That's an L. I don't know what it would be
I
either.
start
Is
giving.
it? I have
I'm
all the Okay, not I would not say my top pick, but of the 3DS Pokemon games,
Oh,
Is it
sorry.
X?
that's the one I put the most time in. But actually, Alpha Sapphire,
I
Okay.
was I
Ruby,
was gonna
Ruby and
say
Alpha
X was an
Sapphire.
honorable mention for me.
X like got that's the reason I still have the vast majority of 11 decks. That's because that's when I was playing at the time, and it got me actually back to Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because as much as I played Gen 4 and Gen 5, I put 650 hours into the X. So it's where I played competitive. It's where I played, um, you know, breeding simulator because I wasn't going to hack my 3DS in 2013. Um, but yeah, it's that's um X is up there, Alpha Sapphire is up there. I do not like the Alola games, Moon and Ultra Moon and their counterparts. I just I can't get into them. It's Pokemon. Why does it need a 3 hour tutorial?
Yeah.
For
Like
the 20th anniversary.
I
Yeah.
hated that.
So I'm really stuck between two here. I think so. I'm gonna go with my one that I'm not gonna choose because it's less unique.
Okay.
My original choice was going to be Metroid: Samus Returns.
Okay, respect.
Great remake of Metroid 2. Other than some amiibo bullshit, it's a
I
very
need it
very good
ported
game.
to the Switch.
Yeah,
Like
it's very good.
I
Mhm.
it is weird that they put a difficulty behind the amiibo.
Yeah, but I change. I changed when you opened your 3DS case, and I was like, oh man, I should do that just to make sure I'm not missing anything. And you know what? I was. I'm gonna go with Tomodachi Life.
Oh, that actually
It's
why
not a
didn't I
hardcore game, and it's a game that I think a lot of people would struggle to find enjoyment in. But for someone like me that already likes a lot of life sim games,
That's
Tomodachi Life
great.
is an incredibly unique experience. Like getting to play life sim with your Mii's.
Yeah,
Um,
I was about to say
that
Tomodachi, dude.
I
Uh,
really
that's
love
actually what I'm
Tomodachi
missing
Life.
right now.
it just
That
has.
it used to
Oh,
sit in my 3DS case. That's the one I'm missing. I'm sure if Cooper went
oh man,
downstairs to my
maybe.
big case, it's probably in there because I didn't, want to bring all of my DS and 3DS stuff down to Orlando since I didn't know what I was going to be doing. Um,
Um,
But yeah, if you
but
want an
it,
experience that's only on 3DS, like that's a very unique thing for 3DS, then Tomodachi Life I think is my submittal.
the charm of the game is just so good. I love like Tomodachi Life. I could play for hours on end, just because it's
in
fun.
in that same vein of
Like
me
Sim.
games, the first 20 hours of Utopia, I highly recommend. I don't care for the backtracking, but the first 20 hours before you start backtracking, it's really solid. It's really funny. It's um, and with I haven't really played the Switch version except for the Amiibo content for a video. Um, but it's really really solid.
But the Switch
Uh,
version has a horse, Cameron.
I know it has a horse that, but there's more like to the Mii's on the 3DS than there are on the Switch. Like, look at this. Tell me, uh, oh, I recommend Me Maker on the 3DS.
I was gonna be like, what are you trying to say here with Me Maker?
I recommend it. Um, Uh,
Cooper needs to go. Like within
well,
1
yeah,
minute.
with a proper one, and then Grant and I actually need to give our recommendations.
No, my
Uh,
recommendation is Tomodachi Life.
Oh, it is so
As
I was gonna
my
say
Tomodachi.
my point
Tomodachi
was,
Life
Oh,
I
featuring
originally was gonna go with Metroid: Samus Returns, but then
mhm.
you made me open up my 3DS case just now, and I was like, actually, no, like not
Um,
to sell Metroid: Samus Returns short in any way. It's fantastic, and it's a great 3DS game and a great Metroid game, but it's not all that unique in terms of Metroid. Like, it's got its own stuff, obviously,
yeah.
but it's still just Metroid at the end of the day. But Tomodachi Life is like truly unique, so I wanted to
Um,
go with that instead.
as much as y'all know, I don't like care for the direction that Animal Crossing has gone since New Leaf. That is probably my recommendation. That's not an RPG. Um, it did add a lot of content to the game. Obviously, it was highly popular because Isabel ended up in Smash over KK. It
Or Tom
completely
Nook.
or Tom Nook. It did completely change the direction of the series. Um, I know that's kind of in the same vein that Zelda went, because whereas with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, people were or into Tears of the Kingdom, people were building vehicles and playing around with the physics to be able to use those vehicles. And they obviously added ways to actually properly build vehicles. In City Folk, people were posting, look at what I designed, and so that's the direction they went for New Leaf and obviously New Horizons. Um,
Mhm.
it's it's pretty solid. I don't recommend it for the life sim aspect any more than I would recommend New Horizons for the life sim aspect because the dialogue feels like an afterthought compared to the older games. But it's got a lot of content. It's got mini games. New Horizons doesn't have mini games. Um,
All right, Cooper, what you
Um.
got?
Okay. So I will say it is kind of cool to play Minecraft on 3DS.
Cool, yeah. Good, no.
Yeah. No, dude.
Exactly.
It's
It's
awful.
like it's like Sonic on the Master System. You play it for 5 minutes, you're like, oh, that's how bad this is, and then you never play it again.
Oh yeah. But technically, with Nintendo Selects, because you kind of took my Tomodachi Life, but with Nintendo Selects, Yoshi's New Island.
Karis, no.
No.
no,
Uh,
I
Yoshi Touch
don't
and
like
Go.
that. That's a
That was
DS.
DS.
Oh damn.
I don't like Yoshi's New Island.
Wait, really?
No, it's not, I don't like the aesthetics. I don't like how it plays. I
Oh.
like I really do not like that game.
Wait. Sorry. Disney Infinity was on the 3DS.
So is
Yeah.
Skylanders.
What?
Skylanders, I think one of them at least had yeah, I think the 3DS one's the one that I ended up having to buy to get DK maybe? No,
Oh yeah.
Bowser. One of the Sky Amiibo.
Dude,
Hmm.
that is trippy. I can't
Heh.
imagine trying that.
Um Speaking of Amiibo, Amiibo Tap and Amiibo Challenge. Um More so Amiibo Challenge because that was an actual game and not just, here, tap an Amiibo, get to play like 20 seconds of a game.
Yeah. Um,
Um I know this is not like the main purpose of this talk, but the Super Smash Bros. 3DS demo was probably peak Club Nintendo.
true.
Yeah.
Since
Yeah.
you had to be in Club Nintendo, have a chance at getting it, and
We all got it.
we all got it, so we were able to play it in band, uh, and on trips that 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 was super hype, especially because it had Villager, who ended up being my main.
Yeah, I didn't want to. Like, obviously, same reason as we. I didn't want to say Smash because it's, there's not really anything all that special there. I think I did really enjoy Smash 3DS, and that whole build up to the release of that game is like one of
What's
my
crazy?
highlights of both my 3DS playtime and also like my video game background. Um, that that event we went to for that was at
Yeah,
a football game, the Auburn LSU
and
game
you
that
won the
year.
first. Yeah, and you won the first event.
Yeah, like that was just so
Oh
much
wow.
fun, and like that's something they're never gonna do again. I don't think. Like that
No,
was like
because
just so cool.
they've like barely done anything like that. Because I think they did it. Um, it wasn't even for Smash Ultimate. It was like after Smash Ultimate, and it wasn't even like as cool of an event as it was for ours,
Yeah,
which I
that
guess
was.
isn't saying much. They had like barely a tent.
I still
I
have
um,
the koozie.
I also
oh
still
yeah, they both are with the Amiibo collection.
Oh yeah.
Um, uh,
Oh
okay.
okay.
I'm waiting for Cooper to actually say a game, and then I will start
so
going
we
down
can
the
start
list
going
of
through all
great.
the other things.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about this.
I didn't think it was a bad recommendation, Cooper. I don't know why everybody's shitting on you.
For
I think
real.
it's just fine.
Um, Captain Toad's on the 3DS.
Yes,
Captain
but the
Toad is on
Wii
the
U was the
3DS, but the
first
Wii U,
version.
the Wii U was the first version. Captain Toad 3DS dropped the same day as the Switch version.
Oh, that's cringe. Super Mario 3D Land though, that one's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, understandable. I would also include uh Super Mario Bros. 2 in that.
Yeah, with the yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah.
though it should be Super Mario Bros. 3 or New Super Mario Bros. 3, considering um, the Wii version existed between those two. So
Um. Yeah. I Mario 3D Land. Uh. I. That was like the first time I had heard Mario music that I was actually like, man, this is banging. Like, there's a lot of good Mario music, but when I played Mario 3D Land the first time, and they like finally started doing that big band jazz kind of
Oh
shtick,
yeah.
uh, that is just so good. The opening title music with that saxophone is so
Yeah,
funky and bubbly. I love it. I definitely agree that was a great game.
definitely. Dude, I friggin' love Bowser's like Circus World. That one's I love the music for that.
Yeah, it's very good.
So good. All right, Alex.
Okay, let's see. I already said my number one, but let's just run through a bunch of great 3DS games. So you've got Phoenix Wright X, Professor Layton, the all the Ace Attorney games that haven't been brought over to modern consoles, which is the two is so four was a DS game, and then the five and six are 3DS and iPhone. Yay! But they came out on 3DS first. Um, Fire Emblem had three games on the 3DS, which is amazing.
I actually was debating
Yeah, I
playing
considered Awakening.
Echoes. I
I fucking
because
love Awakening.
I was looking at Echoes in my case, and I was like, I should suggest that, but like I actually got stuck. So I was like, I should recommend something I actually like properly got through.
Monolith Soft made
Um,
two great RPGs, both being the Project Crosszone games. You had several Zelda games, Triforce Heroes,
Yeah, I
the
was
one I
gonna
already
mention that. Yeah.
Worlds, um, and then two ports of the N64 games.
Yep.
Kirby had a bunch of games, like a lot of mini games, but you had Epic Yarn, you had
Kirby had so many
Planet
games.
Robobot is great.
Planet
Mhm.
Robobot.
Oh yeah.
Atlas put out games like crazy people on the 3DS. They had the Etrian Odyssey series. Like SMT was always getting ports. Persona Q was getting had two games. Um So this is for both of them, but it's hard to recommend either one. So you had the Wii U version of Hyrule Warriors. You had the 3DS version of Hyrule Warriors Legends, which was the same game but for 3DS.
Which meant it was
You
played
had
worse because it was a Warriors game.
right, you had the DLC on the 3DS, or Wii U had DLC. 3DS had DLC. The 3DS DLC could be bought for the Wii U version, which was always super cool. Like if you bought it on the 3DS, you could also use it on the Wii U if you bought that. And then you have but there's no reason to recommend anything, either one, when the Switch version has all that and more. Like Hyrule Warriors is one of those crazy games that each version is just kind of better.
As long as you're not completing it.
As long as you're not completing it. It's a fun game. Don't complete it.
Yeah.
As much as I didn't care for it as like the first or third, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is definitely one of those games that like properly utilized the 3DS at the time. It gyro controls,
Dark
3D
Moon,
effects.
certainly an interesting one because I have problems with its. My big problems with Dark Moon are how level based it is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
always been my issue with it.
It could have just been
I
five mansions.
if it let me just explore at my own pace and not had a like the other issue is that it has like 40-minute missions.
Also, the door.
It's
The
Yeah.
it's
the snowball levels suck.
That's
it's
how
just so not great.
that's why I love Luigi's Mansion 1 because it just lets you explore. It lets you figure
Luigi's
out things for
Mansion
your
1 is Resident Evil.
Yeah.
own.
I think Dark Moon is a good game that's worth playing, but it's not the best Luigi's
It's
Mansion game.
yeah, no,
Don't
that
go
that's definitely
don't
what it
play that
is.
game expecting a great Luigi's Mansion experience, but it's still a good game.
It's a
Yeah,
good game, but if you really like the first Luigi's Mansion, or even if you really like the third Luigi's Mansion,
it's
you'll be disappointed
it's a
by Dark
different
Moon.
for being a Luigi's Mansion game,
But the best Luigi's Mansion game is one.
Mhm.
which also is on 3DS and is also I wouldn't say it's the definitive way to play it.
I would like a
Uh,
port that for Switch, which would be probably the
it
definitive way.
also would have
Yeah.
made more sense for it to be on Switch, all things considered.
Even
More
like an
like
It
they
HD
were already
remake.
working on it, which is
not
kind of
great.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like we already put this together.
Mhm.
DKC Returns 3D.
Yeah.
It's I know it's support from the Wii, but it's the best way to play it because you don't have to do waggle. Um,
Uh, how can we even forget Tropical Freeze on the Wii U?
fair, but we've kind of already talked about the good Wii U games. That one was focusing on the best ones, but no, your point stands. It's a great, yeah, good game.
Yeah. Yeah, throw it in, because when are we gonna talk about the Wii U again?
What
Very,
the
very, very, very sad.
No, I'm joking. Well, it'll literally probably be mentioned next week. I don't know if it'll be mentioned in good
that's
light next week, but it'll
right.
at least be mentioned next week.
That's right. I don't want to give honorable mention. You had 4 out of the 5, or 5 out of the 6. Yeah. Mario and Luigi games on the 3DS. But
Fair
Uh,
Bowser
point.
is
Yeah.
still an idiot. How did they skip a game? They're like, oh, we remade Superstars. That was a good choice. What will we remake next? Partners in Time? Nope, skip.
no, skip Partners in Time. Like,
Why
what
did
you
you
do? Lose the
skip
source
it?
code? You lose the source code or something? Like, why? Um, I will never forgive Nintendo for not giving us that Bowser Jr. amiibo with um
Bowser
the Bowser
Jr.'s
Jr.'s story.
journey. Yeah.
Yeah, like the, they've had so many chances to release it since it was first shown for whichever Mario. Weren't there like three Mario Party games on 3DS?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's a single player console. Why are you putting so many on there?
because I always do. Okay, so other honorable mention, it's Kid Icarus.
Ah,
I think
yes.
that probably should have been like, if not one of our recommendations, should have been fifth. Like
Yeah,
that deserves more than an honorable mention.
yeah,
That
it
is
is a
like
great game.
Oh yeah.
I
This
can't play it.
control
I'm
seems
so
weird,
bad at it.
but I don't know. Every once in a while, they're like, we might remake it.
Okay, do
Um,
They
it,
would, but they
cowards.
said complete remake because the code is bad.
Spaghetti code. We love spaghetti code.
To make it run, it has spaghetti code. That's what Sakurai
Mo-
has said.
Most things do.
I do have to mention this one. It's 7. It's Mario Kart 7.
yeah, I
Let's
was
be
just
honest.
about to say that. Like, there's nothing all that special about it today, and
But
in the
back
grand
then,
stream of, I mean, even back then for Mario Kart, like the cool thing, like, yeah, okay, gliders and underwater, that was awesome, but the like
The
everything else
coolest
about
part.
it is just that was like basically it. Everything else, like, yeah, okay, it's just Mario Kart, but they've got the new mechanics, so like it definitely is an honorable mention for those mechanics because those stuck around, and it just provided more creative ability because now instead of having to be on the ground, you can fly for a little bit, and you can previously untravelable underwater sections you can now go in, and it's like a whole different option of track to drive. So yeah, it's at least worth a mention. Um, it's just not all that special today because we
Yeah.
have that in Mario Kart 8, and
yeah, which I argued about making an honorable mention. Talk about the longest selling, what every company tries to make their game, and Mario Kart 8's like, no, me. I'm the I'm the long running
I'm the one who
voice.
sells.
Games as a service. Bad. Mario Kart. Good.
Mario Kart 8. I am what you try to be.
Because I don't think most games that start as games as a service have lasted even half as long as Mario Kart 8.
It's still going. That's the funniest part.
All right, any other mentions for our sign off?
Um,
No.
I've re-
all the Pokemon games.
I don't. You played Xenoblade on the 3DS. How was that?
I mean, it's just Xenoblade.
It exists.
It
Oh,
It would
exists.
not be the best way to play it.
we almost forgot.
Oh, yeah. Well, we already mentioned it previously, but yeah, Xenoblade X on the Wii U.
Xenoblade X.
And,
on the Wii U, yeah,
hey Pikmin, Pikmin 4, Pikmin
I
4.
actually
Oh yeah,
was debate.
Pikmin 4.
I actually was very much debating suggesting Hey Pikmin.
It's okay.
It's
It's a game.
okay. Like it exists. It's a like as a platformer. Nintendo was doing platformers way too
A
often on
lot.
3DS.
Yeah.
But in terms of amiibo functionality, it's actually probably up there for most unique.
What are you
Because
talking about? Chibi
it
Robo Zip Flash unlocks the best world in the game.
it actually does. That's the insane part. Like they said, if you buy the pack with the amiibo, you get what the game
Japan,
should look like.
the best looking world in the game.
It's so stupid. I don't know, but yeah. Hey Pikmin for the amiibo functionality. Because like I can't really think of any game that gives the old color Splatoon amiibo like their own functionality. Because even Splatoon, they're kind of just relegated to, oh, you missed the three pack originally. Well, here's the alt colors. They give the exact same stuff, but you get to see them in the game. So it's like more than what their own series gives them.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, we officially say goodbye to the Wii U and 3DS. So long. See you
Salute.
in the next life.
07.
Goodbye, boys.
Bye.
And yeah, we'll also say goodbye here. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please share us with a friend. We post every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube.com/StormwindGames. Anywhere that you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Share us with a friend. Again, on Twitter, at us at All Night Gamers with a K. Let us know, what is your favorite Wii U and 3DS games. Which one are you? What's your number one pick for those systems? Are you excited for Tears of the Kingdom? You should be. And if you say no, I'm gonna find you.
There's a pipe
Um,
Come on in your mailbox.
For legal reasons, this is a joke.
Yeah,
I
what do
mean,
you
it's
think of
not
Tears of
hard
the
to find
Kingdom?
people.
How excited are you? Are you getting the system? Are you getting the controller? Let us know. And yeah, we'll be back here next week for more of the usual. Thank you guys so much. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.